right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. My partner in crime should be joining me any minute here, so I'll see him in a couple of minutes. But yeah, guys, welcome. Hopefully, you had a great day yesterday. A lot of excitement as we continue into today, and some more excitement later. With some earnings, especially from our buddy Apple's reporting after hours. So a lot going on today, but we have so much earnings that happened last night that we're going to be seeing the effects of that today, and we'll be taking advantage of that as we move forward through this show. Quick note, man, and our hearts go out to the people in Washington and Wichita, Kansas, I believe. If you haven't heard, it's all over the news here. Obviously, I'm sure everywhere in the country. An American Airlines aircraft crashed with a military helicopter. And so far, I think 64 in the American Airlines, including crew. And I'm hearing 3 military pilots so far, all being not confirmed, but the likelihood of anybody being alive. Now they moved from rescue and recovery to just recovery, because this happened last night around 9 p.m. Eastern time, 10 o'clock. So yeah, it's very, very strange, man. We haven't seen an accident like this in probably 15 years in the U.S. So a lot's happening there in Washington as we get more information. But yeah, friends, so our hearts go out to anybody if you're affected by this, if you have any family that was in that plane, friends, or so forth, our hearts go out to you. All right, guys, quick look at our gappers list this morning. We have a few things in the green. Obviously, Tesla did so well yesterday. We'll see how they ended up doing today and how they're holding up. And we have a few more tech companies up this morning, some quantum computing, QBTS, which we know very well. We watch that one very closely, and some other ones as well. So that's on the gaps upside of things. Meta's not on here. We'll see what Meta's up to this morning. I know it popped up pretty nice yesterday, but maybe not holding those gains into the morning. And then on the gap downside of things, first time I'm seeing this, I see Microsoft is down. They also did pretty well. Not right away initially after earnings, but right after, a few minutes later, they kind of recover a little bit. And I thought they were in the green, but we'll see what's driving them down this morning. And then some other ones. So American Airlines obviously down today, although there's not news that this was an American Airlines issue, but of course the news is devastating, and obviously the market's reacting a certain way, right? So there's more to come to that. I heard a great saying by one of the reporters. One of the questions I was asked by the reporters is not time to speculate, it's time to investigate. Reporters want to come out with news right away, try to put blame on something. It's so funny. I was hearing the conference this morning, and immediately it's like, okay, who do we put the blame on? Can you let the guys do the damn job? Can you just let them do their job? Can you wait? You know who's the blame on? It's not going to change anything right now. So just let them do their job. But these reporters, man, my goodness. All right, what can we say? But let's get to it, guys. Let's start here with, I don't have a U.S. economic calendar up because usually Peter's the one that upgrades that bad boy for us. If he joins, you will get us an update there. But for the most part, let's take a look at our gappers list today. Let's start with AVGO this morning. As we roll through this one, I am seeing that we are up 5.3 this morning. So beautiful pop today. This stock is hard to trade, I'll tell you that much, because the few times we had it on deck, it has not been easy to intraday trade. It has been in play. You can see here on the daily, this drop that we got the last couple of days, that was fun. Outside of that, the last couple of days, it hasn't been easy trading. Volume slowly dying out here, but we're up again here, 5.2 this morning with 843. So it won't be on my list, guys. Again, just gonna keep it off. I think there's better tech tickers to trade this morning, so that won't be one of them. One that will be on my list today is our good buddy Tesla. So obviously Tesla doing very, very well. We were watching the earnings release on this one yesterday. Initially, if you look at here, they had a drop, and then they recover very, very nicely. Brian took a trade from 376 all the way down to the low at this time, so he did very well yesterday with us at the close. It's funny. I was asking him, man, what did you get out? It looks like it's going to keep selling off. He got out so quick with everything, and he's like, nope, I'm out of it. And right after a minute or two later, you see the recovery. And again, that's someone that knows how to trade earnings. I would have been still in it, waiting to see what happens and probably getting stopped out of break even. So great trade by him. And then the recovery into the green. A lot of great news for Tesla here with their robo taxis and a bunch of other headlines that are doing good for them. And they're seeing the benefits of that this morning. So will be on my list today. Obviously, tons of volume, 3.4 million shares traded. Beautiful pre-market activity as you're seeing here. And it's one that we will have on deck today. So going to add Tesla to our list right over here. Next is going to be ESTS. I'm not sure what this is. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. Yeah, sorry about being late there. Exciting
No worries.
and busy morning today for me.
Okay, good,
So
man. Good.
we were just watching. Had to go watch live TV. How often do you watch live TV? I don't do that very often. But anyways,
Yeah, yeah.
on our national, well, anyways, CTV News National. My nephew was on representing the Black Youth Forum, so it was live on TV
Nice.
this morning. So I was busy watching that and recording it, of course, for my sister-in-law, who was very, very excited. Of course, she couldn't even get into the studio. She was sitting out in her car, and I was literally live streaming it from my phone while recording it on my PC, and things you got to do for family, right?
Yeah, hey man, that's important. So that is awesome. Glad you was able to get that done, my friend. Um, so far we're looking at ASTS right now. So again, this one making our gappers list. And Peter, before I continue, do we have any U.S. economic data, anything major coming out today that we should
Yeah,
look into?
absolutely. We had a whole bunch of numbers come out right at 8:30, so sorry about that, everybody. We're a little late on that, missed it. But let's give you the rundown. We had jobless claims that came out, both initial and continuing jobless claims. Both came out, I'll say, market favorable, meaning they were lower than expected. So there you go. So that's the economic data that came out later this morning. The last thing for today, not as exciting as yesterday, of course, with the Fed rate announcement, but pending home sales should be out around 10 a.m. So be aware of that if you're trading around that time. Like I mentioned on the economic calendar yesterday, pretty exciting afternoon. We went live on YouTube. Hopefully you were with us for that. If not, we'll be doing more of those events. We have such a busy week, Carlos, right? With earnings and the Fed rate announcement, which didn't do much. The Fed rate came out exactly as expected, which meant no change. They did not change the Fed prime rate, which is 4.25 to 4.5%. And that was pretty much what everybody expected. That being said, we did trade live with that because there was some trading opportunity. Doesn't matter if it moves or not. You still get that knee-jerk reaction when the computers read the number and the market makes a move, and we're able to trade into that. And then a few of our members, I was noticing, got the bigger move, which was when the market started to trend after that. So I love these economic announcements because you can sort of at least rely on some sort of movement. The press conference with Powell was pretty. Carlos, I guess it's fair to say it was uneventful. I mean, it sort of went as we expected. A lot of questions about how the Fed is going to react to comments or pressure from the administration. He was very diplomatic in trying to say, you know what, I won't comment to that. I won't answer that. We'll deal with it as and when it happens. I think he sort of checked himself a number of times saying, I'm not going to provide any criticism or compliments, or what did he say, or support, whatever it was. But he's
Praises.
definitely started with the
I'm not going to
criticism
bring
of any
criticism, or I'm not going to give any praises. That's what he said.
praise. That was
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
praise. Yeah.
But the praise was always like an afterthought to say, I better balance it. Because that's what the media wanted. They wanted him to, provide criticism of the government. Because, of course, if it bleeds, it leads. So they're looking for, to get him to comment, and then they could get the White House to comment, and they could create a big, it's good media for them. But he definitely avoided all of that type of commentary. So in any event, we'll see what happens going forward. We know that there's going to be pressure. There already has been. But that being said, the Fed is sticking the course. Said that the economy is looking very positive, though, but more or less backed off and said, from a market perspective and a trading perspective, go do your thing. Right? We're not going to get in the way. We're just going to let the markets do what they're going to do. And we're seeing some of that this morning, which we'll talk about as we get into earnings. Ton of earnings to talk to you about from last night, and then even more this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot going on here that we're going to be able to digest and hopefully trade today if you didn't get your shot of trading after hours yesterday. All right, so again, we're taking a look here, guys, at our gappers list. This gappers list is coming to you by tradingterminal.com. You can always get this list available to you for free. Go to tradingterminal.com, click on the scanners button at the top, and you'll be able to get this exact same list here and edit it to your liking. So all right, jumping in here, guys. So we were looking at ASTS, so let's go back to that one. That was on deck this morning. ASTS, again, I don't like the way this looks. I think there'll be better things to trade. I see Meta popping up here. We didn't see it earlier, so it's back in the green as well. I want to look at Meta. I want to look at Tesla. Obviously, Microsoft. Those are going to be making up a big chunk of my list today. ASTS doesn't look good. Doesn't look good enough to be on this list for me, Peter. What's the news on this, if any?
Yeah, so ASTS, not one of the ones that I was following closely, but they've been on our list before. This is the Space Mobile. The AST Space Mobile is actually the name of the company. They're the ones that are launching satellites to give you global cellular service. I don't quite know how that works, to be honest, but the only thing I see from a news perspective, they've been raising some capital, issuing a bunch of convertible notes. Yesterday, 2 days ago, actually, they closed another private offering at 460 million. They had previously in the week another 400 million offer. So there's, I mean, people are buying them up. So they seem to be filling these notes. Other than that, I don't see any news. So nothing exciting going on that I can see.
Yeah, I don't like it here. So we'll leave that one alone. Let's go over to Wolf this morning. So WOLF. This is up 4%. Lower price stock. It was in the red earlier, as you can see here, down at 565, now up at 625. Again, I just think there's going to be better things to look at. So I don't like this one right now. I don't like the volume as much. And if you look at the daily, also has been very, very choppy in the last couple of days. Not something that I see myself having on the list today. So Peter, I'm going to keep this one off. Anything worth sharing on this?
Well, they were one of the many that had earnings after the close yesterday. They beat their numbers, especially revenue, which was a surprise beat on the revenue side. They were very strategic in their press announcement to make sure they say, well, our technology is ideally suited for high-powered applications such as EV powertrains, renewable energy systems, AI and AI data centers. So they're trying to put themselves front and center. Let's face it, every chip set manufacturer is sort of got the same story, but they were really hitting on all of the bingo points, I guess, as they're trying to make sure that they got into every news feed they could, mentioning AI and EVs and everything else they could think of that would get attention. That being said, this is not one of the best trading stocks in this sector. So like you said, I'll probably take a back seat on this one. Probably won't be looking to trade it. Don't forget, we do have a big Intel is reporting after the close today. So I think that some of this sector may be a little quiet as we're waiting for Intel to report. Nvidia is always late, by the way. Obviously, that's the granddaddy here. I don't even know what day they are. I think it's not until next month, right? It's probably the first week of February.
Yeah, it's into February sometime. Yeah.
February, even late February. Oh my God, I see them reporting February 26th. So they are really late. I know that they were late. I didn't realize it was that late. So anyways, that's going to keep that's going to keep this quiet for a while, I guess, because everybody's going to be looking to Nvidia, of course, to really give an indication as to where the overall market is going.
Yeah, absolutely. The ones that are leading this AI movement. So everybody waits to see what the big guy has to say. All right, let's head on here down to. I just keep getting messages of all kinds of headlines of this airplane crash for American Airlines. So guys, if you just joined us, man, we had that last night at 9 p.m. and it's a shame. So much unanswered questions. And Peter, before you came on, I was telling that there was a great comment by one of the journalists this morning when they were doing the press conference over in Washington, D.C. It's not time to speculate, it's time to investigate. And I mean, I never heard that comment before. And that was pretty nice and refreshing. And a lot of people did like that there. So very interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's huge, right? This is the biggest aviation accident in 20 years, I think, in the U.S. And yeah, it's pretty tragic. So thoughts and prayers, anyways, go out to the families. I mean, I think everybody was lost, right? So there were 64 people on the plane and 3 in the chopper, and I think they said there were no survivors. So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
tragic. So. And Reagan Airport, I've flown into that airport. I can't tell you how many times, and it is tight airspace, right? Because it is like a city airport. It's right in the middle of everything. Very restricted space. But normally, they keep it well managed. But obviously, huge accident here. So yeah, good comment though, Carlos. I mean, I got my own opinion as to what must have happened, but yeah, let investigators do their thing. It doesn't really matter, right? I mean, right now all
Yeah.
we know
Yeah.
is that it was a tragic accident. So
Even the guy that was talking, I think it was either NTSB was on there. There's the American Airlines CEO flew there last night. He was there too for the press conference this morning, so it shows you how involved he is, which is nice to see. I think they already know what happened, but you know how it is. There's so many regulations on who releases the news because one of the comments the person said is that they're both were doing the right thing. And when the person asked them, but why? Because they already got the voice. You could hear the voice online of the recordings of them talking to the helicopter, and he did not respond back. So, not speculating, but it looks like communication fell apart in one of those two things there. But we'll see what happens. American Airlines,
well,
speaking of American Airlines, yeah, go ahead, Peter.
yeah, I was just gonna say we can bring it back to the stock, which has actually been pretty resilient. I'm sort of happy to see
Yeah.
that, to be honest. So while this is a tragic accident, there doesn't seem to be any indication that it's a malfeasance or a problem on American Airlines side. The stock is down 3%. I guess you'd expect that. Pretty much all of the airline stocks are down this morning, but not heavily. This is not a situation where airline stocks probably need to be shorted, and I don't think that we're going to see huge movement as a result of this. I guess we'll see, right? Once the opening bell rings, that picture could change. But for the moment, American Airlines was down a little more earlier this morning by a couple percent, and I see it's come back up about 30-40 cents. I honestly hope that it stabilizes here, but we'll see. It's probably going to be in play more than usual just because of the media attention on it. Love it or hate it, that's the reality of what happens.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, we got Dan in chat. So Dan is 42 years of pilot, 33 with American Airlines. So we do got some pilot in our chat in our community as well. Yeah, it's funny because one of my we got a group chat with the family members. And like, wow, so many accidents lately, and I'm like, not really a lot of accidents, a lot of incidents, a lot of close calls. But
Sure.
accidents like this one, tragic? No, the last one was 15 years ago. Yes, we've seen planes land and burn, no wheels and no landing gear, and holes being blown out of planes. But nothing, none of them, unfortunately, been tragic. This one, obviously, not the case here. So let's wait to see what happens. I'm sure there'll be some changes done to that area, and the amount of traffic
It's one
that
of
they're
those.
getting is wild, right?
Yeah, and everybody needs to learn from my good friend of mine who lives across the street from me. Actually, happens to be he works for Transport Canada, and he's actually an aviation. He's an investigator now for these types of incidents. So I know that they are going to be busy today providing support into the U.S. And of course, all of these incidents cause international review of rules and regulations, and what can be done to help prevent it and improve. Is it air traffic control problem? Was it a pilot problem? Was it communication breakdown? Whatever it is, they'll figure it out. But as we said, now we just have to let them do their thing, and let's focus here on the markets because we got a ton of other stuff to
Yeah.
look at here this morning.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Just one more comment here. Yes, it was a training mission, but a great comment from the press conference was that they do these training missions all the time. It doesn't mean that they're rookie pilots and don't know what they're doing, right? So just keep that in mind. They were saying that people that live here in Washington, they know these helicopters are there 24/7 overnight doing all kinds of missions. So again, let's just wait and see into what comes out. But I don't think American Airlines is gonna see a huge fall here at all. All right, let's see what else we got going on here, guys. Our gappers list this morning, we got a couple of things in the green that we want to go over. I do see Rigetti Spaghetti on here, MU, Meta, tons of stuff this morning. So let's get to it. RGTI today, we are up 3.6 this morning. Again, not a huge pop. They're a lowest price stock, so 3.6 is not a big deal for them. They move a lot within that range. 2.4 million shares traded. I do like that volume. Peter, how do we feel about our good buddy Rigetti?
Not bad. Like again, I'm continually impressed at the volume that happens in it. That being said, when you really dig in to like a 1 minute chart, very short term, it's starting to look more algo driven, which is interesting to me because this was a stock that just a month ago I wouldn't like they didn't have a lot of institutional buying or algo attention. Now you can start to see that come into the stock a little bit. I see it during the day when you get slow periods. So it just means that, you need to play this only when it's in heavy play in action. Other than, so when you start to see the thing move sideways or you get it ticking sideways within a very narrow band, it's time to step back from RGTI. So I've kept it on one of my screens just to see what it's doing. Haven't traded it very often. Last time was probably about 2 weeks ago. But keeping an eye on it, just because that volume, as long as the volume stays, I will stay interested.
Yeah, I like it this morning. I'm going to put it on a secondary because I think we're going to have a blockbuster list today once we start going through some of these names. So on a regular day, this will be on the main list. But today, I'm not sorry, you get the back seat. There's a lot of great stuff that's going to be coming up here. MU on the list this morning. And usually when MU is gapping, I tend to want to look at it. I love to have this in play if it's doing well. Right now, up 2.7, 455,000. Again, getting a little love here with plenty of the other AI or semi tickers this morning. So MU up slightly, Peter. Any specific news or just overall sector movement?
I think this is just general sector movement. Let me check out Micron specifically. I didn't see any news on it earlier today. Yeah, I'm surprised that they're actually gapping up because the only thing I saw was a little piece saying that the gap is getting narrower between Micron and some of its competitors, especially in the DRAM, the dynamic random access memory, DRAM chips. So that is, which is one of the areas, by the way, Micron makes a lot of their money, is in that space. But I don't, other than just saying generally, Micron might be losing some of its leadership in the intellectual property space. I didn't see anything specific. One thing I did want to mention, since we were bumping off of RGTI, and I'm not sure if we're going to get any of the other quantum computing stocks back on here. Interesting article I read this morning where they were suggesting that, of course, we all know that the sector dropped when Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, sort of made some comments saying it's still 15 to 30 years away. But there's been some interesting pushback from a number of analysts, including who is this? Jablonski is the name. They lead a large investment house anyways, that said, we can't overlook, though, the importance that quantum plays in the overall industry, because while they agree large scale production and utilization of quantum technology is years away, what they're learning from the process and the development activity is creating change in the industry and driving new learnings and new breakthroughs. So that is an interesting counterpoint and something that may keep quantum hot for the next little while, as we're waiting for quantum itself to take off. That's a true statement, right? The process, I guess, of discovery and the learning that comes through that can often influence industries. So, again, all I'm interested in is it going to keep the stocks moving? And if it keeps the stocks moving over the short term, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. In the last couple of days, though, we haven't seen that, right? We've seen a small pops, nothing too big here compared to what they were doing originally here. Look at these moves. So a little calm at the moment. But again, they're always fun to keep an eye on, right? RGTI tends to be one of the better ones that gets more volume today. They got good volume, 2.5 million. So they'll be on our secondary, and we'll see how things go in that sector. All right, let's jump to one of our good buddies here, Meta. Meta, guys, what a move last night. Didn't come out for our open, right? So me and Brian, we stayed here waiting for the release, and it took a while. It eventually came out. 20 looks like 20 minutes before 5 looks like. But again, we were waiting for it, didn't come out, and I knew once they don't come out on time, it's not going to come out 10 minutes later. It's usually 30-40 minutes later. So I said, okay, Brian, if this doesn't come out here, we're just going to call it. And look at that when it actually reported. But Peter, this stock is just, I mean, it's crushing it. All-time highs this morning, hitting 700 on the dot here. I mean, it is on fire when you look at this daily.
Yeah, and so it was the weirdest of the earnings announcements because everything else pretty much came out to schedule. This one, there was actually some numbers out early, but then their main earnings came out much later than anticipated. That being said, lots to talk about on Meta. Overall, they beat their numbers in the quarter, so had a good quarter on revenue and earnings, but they also announced a whole bunch of other stuff, specifically that they settled a lawsuit from the previous Trump administration back from I can't remember, it was 2020, 2021. It was just $25 million settlement about the deletion of accounts. So they settled that. They did provide lower guidance than expected for the forthcoming year. But at the same time, Zuckerberg said that it's going to be a pivotal year for the metaverse. Now, didn't really elaborate on what that means. Pivotal in what way? Does that mean they're going to make a key decision as to whether the metaverse survives or not? Are they investing heavily in it and he's expecting big growth? I mean, if you remember, it was several years ago that he said the metaverse is taking over and was expecting everybody to have virtual headsets on and be living without legs in the metaverse. The without legs thing gets me every time. But anyways, do their little guys have legs yet? I've got my headset sitting back here, and I admit I haven't even charged it up in like 18 months at least. So anyway, it was cool to use, but nothing that I said I want to do it all the time and use it for too long. It gave me a headache. So anyways, I'm sure that they're working on that. But anyways, whatever that means for a pivotal year for the metaverse, that could be very influential in the Meta stock, of course, because they have invested untold billions into that metaverse. And at a certain point, they've got to either cut the rope on it or go all in, whatever the cost. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, not Metaverse, but Meta as a company also got an upgrade this morning after their earnings announcement. And frankly, the fact that they were already sitting at all-time highs before their earnings. Now they're even higher and knocking on the door for $700 this morning. So I'm not saying that they're going to get there. I don't know. I mean, they were well above that in the after hours yesterday, and then came back down. So maybe they'll be able to get back to the 714 level, which is where they spiked to overnight. So yeah, I think whatever metaverse is, it feels like it's going to be in play today. I mean, the early market volume is already significant. Oh my God, I can't talk. Significantly higher than it normally is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I really like Meta this morning. I mean, the number, 65 billion this year alone, he's investing in AI infrastructure. So market loves that. You're going to spend that type of money on AI, we're really going to get people excited here. So there's Meta on deck this morning for sure. Looks amazing. All right, let's head down. What else we have here? I see QBTS, and we talked about Rigetti already. QBTS making a little bit of noise. Doesn't look as clean though, Peter. Do they have any news? Well, you kind of mentioned some of it already. I like Rigetti a little bit better. Any news specifically to these QBTS that you haven't mentioned yet?
No, I don't see anything specific on QBTS. Every quantum stock seems to be referencing that same article I was just talking about. So yeah, it looks like there's some support for quantum out there, at least from the media, and that's good because that support often bleeds into Wall Street and where they put some of their money, especially in the funds, right? So this Sylvia Jablonski that I was mentioning, who's the CEO of Defiance ETFs, was one that was making some very positive comments that seem to be picked up quite widely. So yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Over in our YouTube chat, someone's asking me, what is that 1 week for $1 on YouTube screen ad? Do we have an ad? I think we do have an ad. Do we still have that link? There, I think the team can get you that link. You could use the code to be able to get access to our community. You get a couple of videos, 21 videos now. It was 19, quickly moved up to 21. And Avi by the way, is working on number 22 of different strategies. So definitely take advantage of that. Last night, Peter, I come back in after I put the kids down to turn off my computers. I left everything on. It was a long day of streaming yesterday. A lot of market stuff going on. You were parts of it, and most of it through with me as well. Peak Capital, just amazing stuff. I come back in here and around 9 p.m. To kind of shut everything down. And I come into the chat room and Avi is on at 6 a.m. in the morning, Dubai time. He's on hosting a couple of people just kind of talking shop. I'm like, what is going on here? Are we running BBT 24 hours? So he's on here. I'm thinking Mr. T was on here. A couple of other members were just chatting it up and they were just talking shop. They were looking at the earnings, Microsoft, looking at Meta. It was awesome. It put a smile on my face like, man, that is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But great stuff. There it is. The link is on there for YouTube. If you want to join us and get access to 25 day trading strategies for $1, click on that link and that'll get you that access. So, all right, friends, back to the gappers list. Let's see what we got going on here. I'll stop here on the gap up. Peter, anything you like before we continue to what's gapping down today?
Well, yeah, a ton of stuff we have to talk about that are gapping up. All right, so let's start with last night's earnings. One of the other big ones that I'm actually surprised to see gapping up this morning is Tesla. Tesla's up about 4% on about 4 million shares volume. And they actually missed their numbers in the quarter, but they focused heavily on AI plans. And, you know, when we talk AI and Tesla, we know that they're doing lots of things. They trotted out their creepy robot, which we don't need to talk about again. But guys, if any of you ever get a robot, do not let it water your plants. I swear that's the first sign that you will die in your sleep at that robot's hands. But anyways, okay. But where they're focusing right now is not the little robot things, but their robo-taxi or the cyber cab. Call it what you want. We got both terms going on there. They did make an announcement at their earnings that they're expected, you should see those robo-taxis on the streets of Austin, Texas in June. So we have to make a mental note, Carlos, to come back. I hope, do we have any members here in Austin or anybody on YouTube? If you're in Austin, let us know. I want to call back on you in June and see if you see them. I would love to get like a live video of a robo-taxi. Even better if it hits something. No, anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be perfect. But I'm fascinated by these robo-taxis, I got to admit. And like I keep saying, I think it's a cool idea. I think it'd be great when they all come out, but I do not want to be anywhere near first, when they have them. So James says they're already on the streets of Phoenix, really? And they're in LA, like on the roads?
It's coming faster than you think, man. It
Wow.
really, really is. And what is this Waymo too? I heard Waymo. Yeah, there you go. Waymo is in LA already. So people see the Waymo cars are running around in LA, which is
somehow,
also full self-driving, I believe. So.
Yeah, but it's self-driving, but it's in a more traditional car. I don't know. It just feels like it's that one step further to me, Carlos. Like, I know that this is false hubris, but I'd like to think if the computer goes nuts, you could literally leap into the driver's seat and hit the brakes or turn the wheel or something, right? Like, I know you probably wouldn't have time and you're going to crash anyways, so should something go wrong. You know, the cyber taxi, you don't have that option. There is no steering wheel. There are no controls whatsoever. So, like, you're completely, you're at the mercy of the computer. I don't know. I just find it just feels like it's another step. So you know what? Look, overall, computer-driven cars, AI-driven vehicles are safer, way safer than any human-driven vehicle. I will grant that. And I love to drive. I'm a driver, But that being said, it makes me nervous, probably more because of the crazy stuff that humans are going to do around them, right? If the roads were just cyber cars and there were no humans driving, it would be utopic. We wouldn't need street lights. You wouldn't need parking signs. I was thinking about that the other day. Think of how the landscape would change, Carlos, if like literally the computers like knew where it could park, where it couldn't park, what all the driving rules are. You wouldn't need speed signs. You wouldn't need parking signs. Think of how different our landscape would be if you could literally eliminate all of that. It would be very cool. Anyways,
you could possibly even eliminate a lot of the stop and go traffic. I mean, I don't know if you've seen this, but I seen
absolutely.
I seen
no
the the design and what happens is like you have 5 cars going at 80 miles, 90 miles per hour, and then they'll slow down together if they have to, or they speed up. If one of them has to get out, it just gets out on his own, doesn't stop traffic. Because stop and go happens when somebody stops and then you create that effect, right? So yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting. Again, I wish this was done when I was commuting to work 45 minutes every day back and forth. I would have loved this thing, man. It would have been awesome. But yeah, it's well
Anyways,
past
look,
that.
we
Yeah.
got a lot of stuff to cover and not much time to do it, so that's my bad.
Yeah.
So that was Tesla. IBM also had earnings after the close yesterday. Good quarter for IBM. We were talking about them, how they're not the big blue. I mean, they're still out there. Look at the gap up that IBM had, beat their numbers. A lot of talk about AI and IBM, and they actually provided very positive guidance. So that's IBM's story. Not a huge trader, but that's out there. Another chip stock that had earnings, Western Digital, WDC. WDC had earnings that they beat their numbers on the quarter, so a good quarter, and but not doing much, and nor what I expected. Did we talk about them earlier? If we did, I forgot. What else I got? From this morning on positive side earnings, MasterCard, MA. As you would expect, you know what? The MasterCard, Visa, American Express, they almost always beat their numbers, right? There's people putting stuff on their credit. They're paying high interest rates. Anyways, MasterCard, not a surprise, beat their numbers, both top and bottom lines. Expect it to be steady as she goes for the next quarter. They're usually pretty conservative on their forecasts and almost always beat them. So not a great trading stock either, but there you go, earnings this morning. All the other earnings that I've got are all red, Carlos, so we can get to them after the gap down list.
Okay, you got it, man. Let's look at the gap down list right now, guys. Let's head down to see what's driving things lower this morning. Leading the way here, UPS down pretty big here, down 15%. They reported this morning around 6 a.m. You can see here the nice little drop there. Not doing hot, Peter. What is going on with these guys and their earnings?
Yeah, so Q4 earnings out for them, and it wasn't that bad, really. I mean, they slightly missed on revenue, but not by much. We're talking about $40 million on a $25 billion revenue forecast. So, I mean, pretty much they hit the number. They actually beat on bottom line earnings. They were expected to only deliver $1.52 per share and delivered $1.75. So, that's actually pretty good. But it looks like it's really on their forecast. They basically said that they're seeing lower demand for their package shipping, which is interesting. And as such, they didn't actually call off their forecasts, but they were sort of the analysts were hoping, of course, that they would increase that picture, and they didn't. They basically said they think they're on track to achieve it, and gave a range that was, they always just give a range. The range was within targets, but again, analysts are never happy unless your range is above what they estimate. I mean, anyways, get off my lawn. Don't get me going. But anyway, so UPS. Again, not a bad picture. Looks like it's in play this morning. The volume is sitting at 1.7 million, which is actually very high for UPS. So I'll probably put this on one of my lists just to see what it's doing, see if I can get maybe a Rising Devil type trade on this bad boy.
Yeah, I like that one for a secondary as well. I'm going to throw that on there in our secondary list this morning. Again, if they're going to trade well today is their day. They got everything going for them to be able to do that. All right, let's head down here. STM this morning. We are, I typed that wrong. Let's do here, STM. Here we go. We are down 8%. Looks pretty flat to me right now. So initial gap down, right? So we got the initial gap down 8.4 immediately. Since then, has not done anything. Again, this stock doesn't look too exciting right now. I do love the gap down of 9% almost this morning. Volume is not so great. They don't get great volume throughout the daily anyways. If you look at this daily here, it doesn't look incredible, around 10 million, maybe less, 5 million really. So I don't like it, Peter. How about yourself?
Yeah, I don't really like it either. They did issue, not earnings in this case, but they just lowered their forecast for the 2025 fiscal year for them. They supply Tesla on the back end, so people are speculating as to whether that is signaling that Tesla's order demand is down, but that's not their only customer. But other than that linkage, I don't love trading this one.
Yeah, we'll leave this alone. Let's head on down to the next one on here is going to be MBLY. MBLY, it is Mobileye Global. So this thing here, up 8%, 1.5 million shares traded. Again, we've seen this stock many, many times before on my list. I'm not a big fan. I think you know that, Peter. So it usually ends up not getting on my list. Do you like this one today for you? I don't like it.
Yeah, Mobileye does a lot of I don't know, what do they call it? The radar systems. Anyways, there's a different term for that. But anyways, radar systems for self-driving cars. And their 2025 guidance was lower than expected. They were okay on their earnings for the quarter, sort of a mixed picture there. But really, it's their forward-looking guidance. And they actually are a supplier to a lot of the Chinese EV manufacturers. And we know that segment has been suffering over the last little while. So not really a surprise, I think, that they missed their numbers and then lowered their guidance. When I look at it, they didn't lower their guidance significantly. They're estimating between 1.7 and 1.8 billion, whereas, the Wall Street estimate is about 1.9 billion. But, again, Wall Street, what do they know, man? They made the number up. So now they're going to be disappointed in the number they made up. Anyways, yeah, that's the news.
Yeah, there you have it. All right, one that we haven't gotten to yet is Microsoft. Obviously, we spoke a lot about this one yesterday. Man, awesome earning action here, but they did recover nicely. I thought they were going to be a lot worse. They did have a nice recovery, went green for a little bit, and somehow just gave it all back, and today we're down 5%. 1.5 million shares traded this morning. I am going to add this one to my list. Obviously, it's a great one for today. Will definitely be in play. Peter, anything else to add on Microsoft?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big concern here was, by the way, they beat their numbers in the quarter, so it's not the quarter, it's their guidance, and specifically their guidance on their cloud computing segment. They really put a lowered estimate than the analysts were expecting, and I think it's that lower guidance on their cloud compute that is dragging this thing down. It feels a little bit like an overreaction. 5% on Microsoft is a pretty big move. We're talking about the over $20 move here from the close yesterday. So we'll have to see. Microsoft is one of those amazing recovery stocks. You just have to look at the daily to see, you can get these gaps and gap moves all the time on Microsoft. So be cautious with this one. Be interesting to see what it does today, but I hesitate to predict a direction. I just don't know.
Yeah.
So, okay. Jared is correcting me. Is it big or is it expected? All right, it's the expected move, but I like how the expected move doesn't mean that it has to do the whole move all the time, Jared. Anyways, yeah. Anyways,
there we go.
But Microsoft, I'm just saying that I'm surprised. I am in a constant state of amazement. So it doesn't mean that's not what everyone else could say. That's exactly what we thought would happen. I'm still going to reserve the right to be amazed at whatever I choose to be. So
there you go. Peter, when Peter gets on a plane, he's the one that claps and it lands. Oh, we landed. Yeah, let's go.
That drives me nuts. As a business traveler, that was one of the things that people
listen,
and especially, it's the worst when you're on a business trip going to a fun destination, and because it's always the tourists that do that, right? It's usually when you're going to a fun destination. And if you're there for business and everybody's like, "Yay, we landed," it just annoys you because you're like, and I got to go to meetings. Like, it's better if you're going to a beach. At least then you're like, yeah, drinks. But anyways, at least for me.
Well, when you go to my country, man, we clap whether you're landing for a trip, going to see some family members because they're sick. It doesn't matter. The clap happens no matter what. It's definitely a culture thing when it comes to my country. And the pilots expect it. Like they'll if they get a group that doesn't clap too much, they'll say no clapping, and everybody go it's a thing. It's really? Definitely a thing. Oh yeah, I've seen that happen. Yeah, I've seen that. Wow. Oh, they love it. They love it. I mean, Dan's a pilot. With American Airlines, he can tell us if that's the thing. But yeah, I can see that if you're in business, you don't want to hear that every time. Could get annoying if you're flying a lot. All right. Let's see here. Guys, Microsoft left on our gappers list is Uber and obviously, unfortunately, American Airlines. Let's see Uber first. We'll take a look at that. So Uber right now. So Uber is down. Is this because Tesla is doing well with these robot taxis? Obviously, that's not good news for them. Down 3.5. Or is there anything else driving this, Peter?
I think it's the competitive news. I mean, don't forget, it's not just Uber. Waymo is also talking about expanding their driverless cars that some of our members are talking about. They've seen them in the U.S. cities and on the streets. So yeah, they're seeing a lot of competitive pressure out there. Now, that being said, just because it's a driverless car doesn't mean they necessarily have a good platform of which to rent them out or to taxi them. So even the robo-taxi, I haven't heard of the what application they're going to be using. So there's nothing saying that these driverless cars won't be available through Uber. But that being said, the expectation, of course, if you've got the car and the infrastructure, it's easy enough to put up an app, and there may be some additional competition. But we'll see what that means. I really don't know. I mean, it's I think. I mean, I'm hoping that they get like tiny little, look, one of the cars I like least in the world is the smart car. Everybody knows the smart car, right? Like, to me, that looks like a death trap. Those things are just too small, especially when you get one that pulls up beside your Ford Expedition. And you just look at it and you're like, man, you are going to be a hood ornament. So, maybe they can convert all the smart cars into driverless vehicles, and then we can just use them for deliveries. I'll get all of my Uber Eats delivered in a smart car. That is a good use for a smart car.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. I am ranting on everything this morning. What's up with
you
me?
Are,
all right,
you are
we
on a roll,
gotta
my
move on.
friend. Yeah.
I know. It's one of those. I have such a busy day ahead. My brain is spinning. In fact, I'm actually trading live with our friends at Peak Capital. Our Peak Capital boot camp is on. We're about a month into this edition, and yeah, I'm trading live with them this morning, and actually just a couple of minutes. So I should let us move on because I gotta go.
Yeah, no worries. American Airlines, guys, we spoke about this earlier. I mean, I could add on my secondary. It will be nice to see what happens here, but look what is happening. It's recovering as more news comes out. Again, there's no reports of it being an aircraft issue, which if it was an aircraft issue with American Airlines, like we saw with some other airlines like Southwest, that's a whole different story. This is quite different. Obviously a tragic situation, but I don't think American Airlines is being blamed at fault here. So you've seen the recovery from the initial drop. Obviously, Algo start reading, hey, something crashed, something happened. Immediately you get the drop. But as more information comes out, you can see it kind of clearing up. And it's so funny here. This was when Washington, the mayor of Washington, D.C. and some other the airline CEO and some other first responders were talking live. You can see maybe some of the comments they answered right away. You can see the drop, but now you're starting to see some of that recovery happen here. So American Airlines, I put in a secondary here. I don't think it's going to trade all that well. I think it'll be flat and just kind of stay where it's at for the most part. But American Airlines is always a great trading stock when it is in play. But I don't think today's one of those days. All right. I think we're set here, Peter. Anything on the gap down do you want to go over before we hop to our webinars?
Yeah, a few others I need to talk about really quick. Just on the earnings side, ServiceNow had their earnings. NOW now is their ticker. They beat their numbers on the quarter, but provided very low guidance and said that their subscriber numbers are down, which doesn't make the market happy. They tend to be a low volume trader. I used to like to watch them, but they're not so great. Anyways, NOW if you're interested in that. UPS. We talked about them already. Never mind. Moving on. A whole lot of different industries, by the way, represented today on earnings. Caterpillar reported earnings this morning. CAT. Heavy equipment, often an indication of sort of how manufacturing and that sector is going. Caterpillar had their earnings this morning. A mixed picture. They missed on revenue, but beat bottom line. So again, one with low volume there. We get some of these tickers going, Carlos. Anyways,
say that last one for me.
Caterpillar, CAT.
CAT. Yep.
I'll move on though now. A Dow Chemical, again another industry I tend to watch. DOW, just to see what they actually had. A bad quarter, missed top and bottom line. Very low trading volume on this one. Doesn't typically trade pre-market at all. It is a New York Stock Exchange stock, but again, sometimes I just use it to see where that sector is going. By the way, they've been in a downturn for the last couple of months, which shows me a decrease in demand for the raw goods that goes into manufacturing. But I don't know if that's really an indicator. And then, not a surprise here, the last one, Southwest Airlines, sort of a bad day for an airline to report. LUV is the ticker on Southwest. Mixed picture. Pretty much they were on target. Their revenue barely missed. They actually delivered better than expected profitability. However, the entire airline sector is down this morning, as you would expect. We already talked about the reason for that with that very tragic crash that happened at Washington Reagan, and I think that airport is still closed to this moment. So there you go, Carlos. Those are the few that I needed to talk about.
All right, excellent, friends. Let's do this, guys. For the sake of time, we're going to head right into our community events and announcements, kind of show what's happening for this beautiful Thursday morning. So let's go right to that, and then we'll come back and see some levels on these tickers.
Yeah, so I'm going to do this and then jump off, Carlos. I have to leave the rest of the show to you. Thank you,
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
for letting me rant with you. I don't know what the heck was wrong with me today, but all right. But I'm having a lot of fun. All right, it's Thursday today, which means that I can't believe Thursday already this week, which means we have a number of mentorship sessions for you today. So we got 4 different webinars scheduled for you to take advantage of if you are an elite member with Bear Bull Traders. We start with John at 11 a.m. He talks stocks as he always does and gives you a great view of the markets, talks about his perspective, will review your trades, and of course, you get his unique brand of dry, acerbic humor, which I love John, man. He has got a great perspective. Ask him any question, any topic. He has a point of view, and he'll share it. And it's usually quite insightful. So I challenge you to go and do that at 11 a.m. today with John. And then at 2, we've got 2 more people with opinions, but they're going to be talking options primarily. But Jared and Megan are never shy to tell you what they're thinking. Megan yesterday, in fact, Jared was having some connection problems, and she's promised to share some deep, dark secrets. I didn't really hear a lot of deep, dark secrets. So I think you guys need to press her for that. We want to hear more of those. Anyways, 2 o'clock is when you'll get that chance today in the webinar room. And then Lenny and Pierre take over at 4 o'clock for equities talk. And then, of course, Thor having his ever popular session at 8 p.m. So those are our 4 sessions for today. Enjoy them. And again, P Capital Trading, it's one of our great training sessions that we've got. I'm going to go join those folks right now. So enjoy the rest of the show. Trade smart, everybody out there. It's a very busy day. Don't try and watch everything. Pick your stocks, watch a few, live and die by them. Because if you try and watch everything, you're just chasing butterflies. That's usually how you lose money. All right, Carlos. Thank you. Over to you.
All right, thanks, Peter. All right, friends, we're going to skip levels here. I just noticed the time. We're going to go straight to Andrew and Brian. So let's do that. As they come on, we'll go to them. But I want to show you, let me show you here, our chat room. So here is our chat room, and I'm going to show you what our members are watching. So you can see that on the screen there. We won't go through all of them, but you should be able to see them right on there of what the team is watching. If you're interested in seeing what our moderators are looking at. So, all right, 7 minutes to the market open. I'm going to try to do maybe some levels as I wait for Andrew and Brian to come on. But guys, don't wait for me to finish. Just come right on, and I will switch over to you this morning. So let's do some levels in the meantime. I'll keep the screen up a little bit longer so you can see what the team is watching. There you go, over on our YouTube chat. There it is. And you can obviously pause that on YouTube if you need to watch it a little bit longer. All right, let's head over to do some levels as I wait for Andrew. Oh, I see Andrew's on. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. We are ready. What a day.
Excellent. Yeah. And I see Brian is on. Good morning, Brian.
Crazy.
Good morning.
All right. Excellent. I'm gonna switch off, guys, and I'll leave you with Andrew and Brian. Remember, we come back again, me and Avi, at 11 a.m. today to 12, and then we also have our earnings at 3:30 for Apple this afternoon. So see you then.
Yeah, perfect.
All
Thanks,
right.
Carlos. We were yesterday for FOMC meeting and earning. I bought some TNA for a pop of IWM, and I sold it this morning. Well, it's good to join us, guys. It will be some trade ideas. So if you would have followed my TNA, I know some people did in the chat room. I actually closed it for $9,000 this morning. That was nice.
Yeah, nice,
Mr.
nice overnight hold.
Yeah, Mr. Pezim, what did you do overnight? I know you sometimes hold some stuff.
I, excuse me, I didn't do anything. I didn't hold anything. I wasn't kind of thinking about that. I guess maybe I should have, but no, didn't do anything. So I'm very disappointed with you that you didn't reach out to me directly.
I think
But
you were
that's
not in the
I'll let
chat
it go.
room. No, I don't know. I thought you were in the chat room.
Well, I wasn't. Yeah, I was in the chat room. I just you were. I think you were on YouTube. You were posting on YouTube
Yeah, you're right.
in our live session. Um, just looking at I did do a trade on Tesla. I don't know what the heck. Tesla was like wild in the after hours.
It
Like
was
it dropped like a
crazy. It was
stone.
crazy. 10% up
Yeah,
and
it
down.
dropped
It was
like
crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
Dropped like a stone and then came right back up and then
Jesus.
went higher. So I caught the down move and I think you caught the up move, didn't you? The squeeze?
Yeah, I did. I think I also posted on some Twitter or something. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
traded long, but I sold everything at in the pre-market. I didn't want to hold anything overnight, which I should have. I kind of regret not holding it. So for those of you who see my screen, I can actually share my screen in the chat room. So it was crazy in the pre-market. So we did what happened here. I'm actually drawing it on my chart. So it did drop from 390 to 364 and bounced back as soon as it came above the Viva at 390. I just went long and then was sold toward this level, and then toward that 400 or something near 5 p.m. I sold everything. I wish I hadn't, but it's a little bit tricky. If it tests up, it was just I was so scared. Yeah. So
So Apple
today
had a
we're
bit of
gonna
a
go.
sell-off there in the last few minutes. Now it's coming right back up. Of course, we've got earnings this afternoon. Apple, Intel, and Visa. So it should be another interesting session. There's been a lot of downgrades on Apple, but it really hasn't seemed to have affected it that much.
Yeah, today is the earning on Apple, huh? So I sold my APU, but it had a massive run the
Yeah.
last 4 days.
Well, Apple's looking a little bit squirrely this morning. There are some massive orders that are up at 240, 241, 242. So that would imply that Apple's going to break higher here at the open. Microsoft really has been weak this morning. Of course, they came out with some weaker guidance, so not the numbers that the street was expecting.
Yeah, so Tesla is doing crazy. So Tesla today might go to 420. The way that is actually popping up, I don't really see any big resistance around it. Maybe 415 is somehow the level. Back here, we'll see back in December 23rd, we had a little bit of thing, but this one is super strong. So 420 is very possible today on Tesla. AVGO Broadcom
Seems like it.
also in the scanner. This one is also up 6%. This one was not earning Broadcom, no? I don't think Broadcom was
No, I
earning.
don't think so.
So the situation is pretty good. However, the problem right now here is Tesla is a little bit extended from the VWAP. So, and usually it trades really, I usually mess up when something is super extended. Meta also had disappointing sales, but apparently it promised really good AI year. So that's also 700 all-time high. This one is also very interesting. Like it blows my mind how Zuckerberg turned around this company.
Tesla's breaking out here. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding,
I'm
ding,
watching
ding, ding.
Microsoft.
So ding, 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 ding. Here, Tesla. Tesla is way super extended right now. I don't know what to do with it.
Okay, I shorted Microsoft, so I'm just looking at a rising devil trade here. It kind of popped up, so see if can make some money here.
So you're shorting Microsoft. Nice, yeah. Yeah, so I need to wait at least a minute, see what's going to happen. Again, Tesla and Meta, both of them are kind of extended. I don't know. It's a little bit tricky to enter now. Tesla, yeah. Yeah, again, the VWAP is like at 4 or 5 now.
I just covered some because it doesn't look like it. Geez, AMD is breaking out. Apple's breaking out. I knew Apple was going to go there.
AMD hit the scanner too, yeah.
Came out of the rest of Microsoft. Back at my break even, so didn't get the breakdown quite yet that I had hoped.
AMD looks like 120. Yeah, there was big ask at 120, so it's gonna go.
Wow. Yeah, AMD. Wow.
Yeah. Squeezing significantly. It's pulling back toward the VWAP finally. Yeah, AMD was a nice 1 minute opening range breakout. You called it IBM.
Still lots of orders on AMD to the upside. Let's
AVGO
pull
is
back
also
for the opportunity.
Yeah, nothing for me, guys. I don't see a setup right now for me. I have serious FOMO going on, but waiting a little bit.
I got just gonna maybe get long some AMD here at 119.90.
Apple is also super strong.
Here we go. Come on.
VWAP.
Oh, still a little crazy.
Brian, yeah, that was a nice pullback on AMD. AMD is super strong. When is AMD earning? Is it next week?
I'm not really sure. I know
I
it's
don't
not
think they.
this week, so I'm just sold a bunch at 2024, but it's still don't like this trace action. Nvidia's
Problem.
dropping.
Yeah, I'm waiting a little bit. Microsoft went down, Brian. This is also getting destroyed.
Yeah, shit, that was kind of the move I was looking for earlier.
It's not fun anymore. The market is slowly pulling back. Shoes are pulling back. Tsla is going down. Meta is going down. Yeah, obviously, this is like Tesla wasn't sustainable that much higher. Let's see what's going to happen. 5 minutes is now becoming very bearish.
Yeah, I'm out of the rest of AMD. Couldn't push higher there. That's pretty. Again, it's kind of the same kind of day we had yesterday. It's going to be choppy, I think. Nvidia's
So TSLL is shortable, huh? Interesting. Tesla could be a good. I was thinking of shorting Tesla. See if you can actually get a pullback on Tesla for a short. short Tesla. I'm pretty short through getting filled. Yeah. Well, I'm not short actually yet, but I was thinking of shorting Tesla at this pullback at 405. It looks like it wants to go down, but I'm not. I didn't get filled, so let's wait until I'll see another one. You can short strongest stocks. You got to be a little bit more careful. Tesla has these moving averages at 401 and stuff. You can also short, I think, TSLL, so which would be much nicer to short. Yeah, Microsoft. No, I'm not really a fan of Microsoft yet.
Nice, nice little bounce on AMD off the VWAP there. Kind of missed that one, unfortunately, but yeah, Tesla looks a little weak.
Yeah, I know. It's just I messed up on my hotkeys and I didn't get filled on it, but missed the R3 Bitcoin at 105. You can actually short TSLL as well because there is a shortable situation here. Right, so let's see what Tesla is doing. It's now trying to bounce back to or long TSLS, yes. See what Tesla is doing. ENA is still hitting the scanners. Meta is trying to bounce back. Yeah, no trade for me. 937. Oh, not bad. Meta is coming back up to rewrap. Looks like it wants to go higher. Gonna get a long on Meta 694. Though the 5 minute in Meta is a little bit tricky. And long Meta, guys, at 694. Let's see if it wants to go to high of the day. The problem with the Meta is this first minute is super bearish. Like first 5 minute candlestick is super red. But let's see. Adding a little bit more. Let's see if you can actually break the all-time high. Tesla is red. Yeah, Tesla is definitely it's going red. She was shorting Tesla. So yeah, let's see if Meta can break all-time high. 69 looks like it wants 700. Long the Meta, guys, it's 695.
Yeah.
Let's see, 698. Okay, there you go. It looks like it wants to go higher. Adding a little bit more on it. See if we can get the breakout. 700. I got a partial fill on that. Or you know, 700. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 700 would be nice. Oh, it's rallying. There you go. Boom. 701. Now I start partialing on Meta, guys. Meta is nice.
Short,
perfect. Yeah.
Short Nvidia. It looks like it wants
guys,
to drop more here.
Oh, beauty. This is called 5 minute bullish engulfing. Very nice, guys. 703. Partialing, very nice. Tell me that you took this trade with me, some of you, please. Engulfing crack on Meta. Yes, Jared. Very nice. Thank you, Mr. Zuckerberg. Mr. Zuckerberg, what a day.
Yeah, that was a nice, nice trade on Meta. That was would have been a great grab on that pullback at the open.
Yeah. So, I mean, Tesla didn't recover. So I was hoping that Tesla can do the same pattern, but Tesla really didn't close the way that Meta did on about the VWAP. So this 5 minutes is called bullish engulfing. It's a very, very bullish pattern. That's why I added a couple of times on it. And yeah, 705. Yeah, Meta is trading at all-time high, so we really don't have any other level up there. So maybe round numbers, or based on your R, you can partial. So 705 and partially. Nice. That's perfect. So finally a good trade, Andrew Aziz. Finally. Well, obviously those pink powders haven't destroyed my brain completely yet, so that's good. That is good. 7:16 is the yesterday after hours. That is actually a very interesting point because I have to look into after hours. Yes. Oh yeah, you're right, Mo. So 7:16. Thanks for reminding me. Is after hours high yesterday, so it's perfect. Yeah, Meta is unbelievable. Honestly, I'm amazed that Zuckerberg turned around this company.
Still short
This
in
one was yeah, sorry.
Here we go. This is what I'm looking for here. And a bit of another leg down. Big
Does
order at
Meta have
121.
a leverage product? Anyone had that? Does Meta has like a Meta LL or something?
It must have.
METU. Oh, damn. Should have get me to METU. Is it 2 times leverage? Direction, yeah, Direction has it. Yeah, 2 times. I should have traded MTUs. I would have made a fortune. Yeah,
Okay, here we go. Just it's covering a bit of Nvidia here on this next leg down.
Anyone in Meta with me, guys, in YouTube or in the chat room? Did anyone took that? Would have been an amazing option trade. The option traders would have killed it. I think if Avi's trading it, it would have been at $100,000 a day for Avi. I think Meta's options are also super liquid. ADK, Yazaki,
Yeah,
nice. 11K version.
would have been a good
11K, nice.
options trade for sure.
Yeah. You're shorting Nvidia, huh? Brian?
Yeah.
Tesla is
Yes.
also going down.
So there's an order at 121. I think we're going to go there.
Nice. Cross was 710. Yeah, I think so. I think Meta is not pulling back, but I think it's still strong. So potentially can actually add on Meta. I think it's a really good possibility. I'm still holding 1,000 shares of Meta. My average is at 696. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see where we go.
Just covering some more here. 121.40.
Meta is interesting and potentially can add a little bit on Meta here. What do you think? I'm adding a little bit on Meta here, 705 right now. My new average would be, let's add a little bit on for the break of another high of the day. Let's see. I'm adding a little bit more on Meta. See if we can get another break of high of the day. I'm usually not great in these ads. Paris is pretty good at ad, and Thor. Yes. But we'll see if we can get another break of high of the day would be nice. My new average is 702, so not super great. IBM. Yeah, I don't trade IBM. Like IBM also did a position of it, but generally from the past, I have this idea that IBM isn't really super amazing in day trading. It's just super choppy. Today trade's nice actually. Seeing NVDA, nothing.
Tesla's just leaking off here. Wow.
Yeah, Tesla would have been a very nice short. I wanted to short Tesla. Meta is stalling right now at 705.
It looks like it's
Right here.
ready to move.
Yeah. Guys, let's push this one up. Nice. One more beta. Yes. Yes, partially at 708. Let's get to 710. I think that would be super nice. Ah. So why Tesla is dropping? So profit taking. Usually,
Yeah.
at the open, people start, figuring out what they want to do with this company. A lot of investors are digesting their decisions overnight, and the orders are coming in the morning. Some people want to get out, shorts
Yeah,
want
I
to
think
cover. Yeah.
the other thing about Tesla is it was weird. I didn't understand what the rally was all about. I mean, their numbers weren't great. So didn't really get the rally thing after it sold off.
It's no, man, I don't get this valuation on Tesla. Like we had this conversation with John before. The story is great, but at the end of the day, your story has to support the valuation that you're having. Like Tesla is
Yeah,
trading like 4 times more expensive than all S&P 500 companies. I believe
yeah.
in the story. Like there's no shortage of amazing story that this company plans to do, but gotta eventually the valuation, because the Wall Street works based on this, okay, where should I put my money to get most return? All right, so picking up. No, John, the growth, like we can discuss this forever to death. Like, for example, Amazon, um, when in dot-com bubble, it was crashed 80%. When you were looking at the revenue year over year, it was increasing, but I think Tesla revenue isn't growing exponentially anymore. Like the Elon Musk just keeps adding the vision to the company, but is it supported by the
Yeah.
revenue? Like the growth company should have exponential growth year over year. I think up to last quarter, their sales were going down. Like, um, I think what Musk is doing is giving a really nice vision for the company with the self-driving car, but it hasn't been supported by, like, again, the vision is very different from um, the growth number. I don't know, who am I?
Well,
Who am I?
yeah. I mean, the whole thing about the AI thing and self-driving. I think there's a lot of people that are um, betting on this full self-driving. Once there's full self-driving, you will have to sell your Lambo.
I know. I like my Lambo. I don't want to sell my Lambo. All right, so let's see. Qs are
Um,
running up. What's Tesla
yeah,
doing?
Netflix is doing well here.
Netflix 1,000, huh?
Back to 1,000. Yeah.
2,000. What a great trade on Meta. I'm actually very proud of myself. I want to tap on myself on the great job. Finally. Finally, a good trade. It was a miserable week for me. I was seeking. OKLO is also running up, the nuclear company of Mr. Altman.
Yeah. Well,
This one,
okay. Hello. I know I was looking at that at the open. I was almost thinking of watching it. It looked like it was going to be interesting today. Just too many other things to watch here. Wow. SPY is breaking out big time.
Yeah, SPY is just going parabolic. SPY wants all-time high, huh? The all-time high is at 610. Yeah, looks like this market. You cannot keep this market down, no matter what new technology is coming. It just keeps coming up, huh? All right, Tesla looks like he wants to continue to go lower.
Seems like it. Yeah, there's an order here at 390.
Pretty good at on profit-wise, sitting like on 50 grand, which is good. I don't know if I want to take another trade. 715 would be nice on Meta, but I have only 1,300 shares. I probably should sell some more here. Yeah, Meta looks like it's getting slowly for. Yeah, I'm selling a little bit more on Meta here, guys. Looks like a little bit toppy now. My average on Meta is 701. So I might get stopped out on the pullback. You might pull back and go back up again. So it's very common for the strongest stocks to just do this thing. So very common that stocks are pulling back, like 920 strategies is essentially one thing and go back up. But the question is, am I going to get stopped out on this pullback or not? So my average is always when you're adding into the direction, which is always you should always add into the direction. It's coming up now around this area. So now the question is, the next pullback is going to stop me out or not? Well, we'll see.
I'm short some. I'm short Tesla with some puts, so long puts.
In Zuck we
Trading
trust.
390. Trading the 395s. Thanks for that idea, Monsieur Andrew.
You're welcome. Which idea?
Shorting Tesla.
Yeah, I didn't get filled. I messed up this
Wow.
hotkey over there. I wanted to short here and here. I messed up. I wanted to actually short TSLL. And actually short the leverage long too. So that would have been like party.
Yeah, I'm selling some of my puts here. Went through $10.
Yeah, I think Tesla most likely is gonna go red today.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, Tesla is definitely gonna go red. I'm not gonna jump into short now, but Tesla is most likely it's gonna go red.
Yeah, you don't want to short it now.
They're dumping, they're dumping really bad.
Wow,
Oh, yeah.
more selling more puts here, 1040.
Very nice. Oh, humanity, Brian. Humanity.
Oh, yeah. This is awesome.
What do you say? What do you say? Oh, my humanity. Like, what's
Yeah, my God, the humanity. Oh man. We got into these at $8, and now we got 11. There we go. Selling some more.
What a move. What a move. I'm sorry, John. I know you are not fun watching Tesla's going down. Just teasing John a little bit.
There we go. We're getting a fill here at 390. There we go. Like that.
I think I'm gonna get out of my Meta position, guys. I'm all out of Meta. So Meta is pulling back.
Okay.
It might go back up and down.
I'm all out of my Tesla short.
It's gonna go lower,
1180.
386.
We're right at PDC, so I'm guessing Tesla's going to bounce here somewhere around here. Tesla's going to bounce.
I think it's gonna go lower. Really weak. The price action is super weak. Popped up, huh? The king has been met. The king of levels. Let's see. Tesla.
Yeah. Can you see? Here we go. We're getting a bit of a bounce. It doesn't necessarily mean we've broken trend, but can usually expect a bounce around PDC. The king has been, the ring has been kissed by Tsla, PDC, previous day close, king of all levels. Thank you, Jared.
Oh, humanity.
Yeah. That is back at 5-day after bouncing off 9 EMA.
Yeah.
Fuses
I'm all
5
out of
pulled back.
everything,
Now they're
guys. So I'm out of everything,
rallying again.
guys. This is my close position. You guys can see in the chat room. I am sitting at $51,566, which 9,000 of it is from TNA, which I wish I was actually holding it. I had some orders to sell, and then I got filled pre-market. Like I got filled the first order. Like let me show you TNA. See my chart. The first trade of the day is for Andrew Aziz. Here, let me see. I had my order in the pre-market, like all or nothing. Here, this is me at 4:01 in the morning. Like, I got filled at 45.50. Like I started the day for Wall Street on IWM. Yeah, TSLL. You can actually short TSLL. It's like a normal ETF, same as TQQQ. You can actually short TQQ or buy SQQQ. You can actually do that. So that's how I messed up. I tried to short TSLL, but I pressed my montage was on something else, and then I got this error. And at the time that I was just see TSLL as an ETF actually is shortable. So click on that. Where's that window goes? This is. Yeah, so see, if you click on that, it's actually shortable, like 100,000 shares available to short. Yeah, Meta went back to the high of the day. I'm all out of Meta, so now from now on I'm gonna watch. According to Avi, it's gonna go to 720. So we'll see if Avi is right. Beautiful high of the day. Beauty. I'm good. I'm not a very greedy person. I'm pretty happy with what I made today. Tesla is bouncing back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any situation ready for Tesla. It could be a short here, this pullback, but also I don't have any trade book really in these situations at this time of the day. So so see, could have been shorted. Yeah, and again, I had a very beautiful day. Yeah, so see, Brian, short Tesla. I think it's gonna go to 396. It's pretty weak.
Yeah. It's right back. It's right back testing PDC again. See, that bounce was really predictable. And now we're selling off some more.
There you go.
I said, this isn't a break in trend. It's just a bounce.
Yeah. I was thinking of shorting Tesla again, but I don't have, I had a good day and I don't want to, ruin it because I want to do a recap. But this is a very nice area that you can short it. Could put a stop loss around 395 for the 20 moving average. This one potentially tested 396. So again, if you look at the daily chart, that daily chart is super bearish. So most likely it's going to go test the yesterday low and 2 days ago low as well. And who knows, we might sell off all day to 380. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Tesla. I don't see Tesla bouncing back significantly today because it's pretty really weak.
No.
For the morning session, yeah. Nice, Miss G Trader. When did you join us? I think our community is amazing in terms of giving you the basics of trading and understanding the price action. And but a lot of people want to essentially graduate to more sophisticated aspect of trading, like futures or very sophisticated options trading. Then maybe our community would be a little bit behind in that front, which is okay because I'm a very simple trader. Like Brian is also trades option, but his trading strategies are not sophisticated. You go to some communities, they're just, you don't understand what they're doing on their indicators on their chart, and which is fine for them. But our community, I think, is amazing for very basic traders that they don't want to mess around with these fucking penny stocks. They want to learn the basics of price action and daily charts and levels, and they don't fall into this trap of penny stock traders that I think is really good on that front. And then, slowly after, a couple of years, you slowly branch out to a more sophisticated trader, very sophisticated options trading and futures trading and stuff. But I think for me, I'm actually myself amazed that, I started with a $30,000 account. My account is at $8.5 million, and I still do that same, type of thing. So, and it works. Like, it got way better after pandemic. Sometimes I do a little bit of mess around with options, but as people who follow us, is really naked options trading and very simple. But it's working. But you have to know this. You have to go through this to become a better trader. Like, if you're in the financial market, it might be a kindergarten, but you got to go through these basics of understanding of the levels and that kind of things. No, James, I lost a lot of money on penny stocks. Most people are losing their fortune in penny stocks. Like, there are very few people who make money out of these ones, these penny stocks.
Yeah, you have to be pretty lucky. Well, if you're day trading them, they're they can be pretty crazy. I have made a lot of money on penny stocks, but lost some too. So it's sort of like, it's the same principle as the VCs, the venture capital people. They invest in 10 companies, and they hope and they expect that, they're going to lose money on probably 8 or 9 of them. But they're hoping that that one company that is going to be like a 100 time return that's going to make up for the losses.
Yeah, exactly. And the concept of, we had this conversation, recently with another friend, like, return by itself doesn't mean anything. Like, if you make like 10% on a trade or 20% on a trade, doesn't mean anything. The risk adjusted return is very important. Like, how much the unit of risk that you're taking. That's one thing. Another thing is that the volatility of your portfolio is also a big measure of your performance as a trader. Like, there is no point of a portfolio that goes up and down like 10% a day. Like, that's why I never really hold any Bitcoin. What kind of asset class is that it moves 15% a day? Like, that's not an investable asset class. This is just very speculative asset class. So just return by itself doesn't mean, like, penny stock traders portfolio are like that, or crypto traders are like that. Meme traders. But all of the successful traders that we see here, like John, Mike, and everybody, is just that just very small fluctuation on that. These are, like, we're not the first people to figure out these ones. Like, Wall Street have published the research papers on this for hundreds of years. Like the risk adjusted return, the volatility of a portfolio is super important, even as a day trader. It's like, you want to have how do you want to manage your risk when your penny stock is just moving up 5-10% in every tick? It's just impossible. Like, therefore, the return is meaningless, in my opinion.
Wow, there's been a big this market's really selling off here. Don't know
Markets.
what's been going on, but really getting a pretty significant drop on the SPY and the Qs. Probably going to bounce back a bit here. Tesla went down and retested yesterday's low. Is bouncing again.
Told you, Brian. Told you it's gonna go to 85. Don't chicken out.
Yeah. I know I should have reshorted it on that bounce after it bounced off the VWAP.
John, I love your screenshots. I don't understand what it is. Take a screenshot in a
Home
way that we
sales
can
down.
actually see
Oh,
what
okay.
it is.
It was a home
Uh,
sales number. Yeah. I didn't look at what economic data we have coming up here. 10 o'clock was pending home sales.
so nobody's selling
So
it.
that was, that was a big drop. Wonder what did companies like Toll Brothers do? KBL.
It actually held very nicely, even though market pulled back. Meta.
Hmm. Interesting. Toll Brothers price has gone up.
It's like home prices went up.
No, the pending home sales apparently came out weaker, but I'm just looking at Toll Brothers, which is a builder, home builder, and their stock went up on that news. It's weird.
The market is super interesting. Like the dynamics behind the market, it was really interesting. Like after the election, then President Trump got elected. The market rallied. We called it Trump pump. But a lot of these home builders actually started selling off because they use a lot of undocumented immigrants. So they can say, oh, their cost is going to go up. For about a week, they were going down when the market was going up. They
Mm,
readjusted later, but everybody was scratching their head that why home builders are going down when the whole market is going up. And then
yeah,
I read him break that out because they depend a lot on the cheap undocumented immigrants. Now their costs are going to go
yeah,
higher. So, but they did bounce back. When I checked it later. Eventually, they adjusted. But a lot of people don't know what's happening, and then they start coming up with ideas. That's why.
yeah. All the millennials want to be TikTok influencers. They don't want to build. They don't want to be construction workers.
Who wants to be
The millennials. I shouldn't say that.
Brian? No, Brian. I don't again. I'm sorry, guys. Brian.
I know you
Don't say that,
millennials out there.
Brian.
You're good people.
I'm sorry, guys. Brian and Peter sometimes say, no, don't say that. Oh my God. Now half of the community is insulted. I'm sorry, guys. This,
Are you apologizing for me?
yeah, these old timers, they're not
Yeah.
politically right. So,
I'm a Gen
all right.
X. I have
So
no idea. No, I think I'm a baby boomer.
you are, yeah. All right. Tesla is at 385, doing some sort of a consolidation here. That was a very nice.
Yeah, it's
How much drop was
there is a big order at
that?
380.
Yeah, see much of a like. I don't want to go long on it. I don't want to also short it either. So it's an area that it's a little bit tricky to enter
Yeah,
because it can go either way. So there's a question that actually I'd like to take this screenshot and maybe use it um, for uh, for answering here. So one Silic is asking question. Arsalan, is that you, the one that you won the A1 Silic? Are you the one that who won the draw on Wednesday or yesterday? Anyways, the question is that why do you ignore something like MSTR that has moved better than Meta or Tesla? So the answer to that question is, guys, you have to see what kind of trader you are. Like today, we traded Tesla and Meta, and both of them were stock in play because they had the earning, both of them. But generally, at least I'm and Brian are trader that we look for stocks in play based on the news or macroeconomic environment and these kind of things. But you always have usual suspects in our pocket. Like the usual suspects are the Magnificent Seven. And the reason for that is the volatility on these Magnificent Seven, like Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft. These are very trillion-dollar companies, and a small movement of these trillion-dollar companies that create a lot of capital volatility that you can actually benefit from that. MSTR is moving pretty good because crypto after presidential election has been really volatile, but it's not always something that you want to keep it on our radar. And I personally have a certain amount of capacity that I can look at the charts. So, and you should not have this mentality of over optimization in your trading. You shouldn't really look for, oh no, I gotta, this is not good, this is better, oh no, this is better, oh, this is more volatile. No, if something works for you, you have to stick with it. Like for example, Meta, when I got out of it at 953, it popped back up to 710, but I shouldn't really start, having this mentality that, fuck, I should have gone up, for another move. No, that was your trade and that's how you manage it, and goodbye. Like don't marry to an idea or to a trade, and then that's how you get into over trading, get into making decisions. So the traders that you see is they're successful. They're the traders that are pretty happy with the system that they have, and they don't cry over the missed opportunities or trades that they didn't take, or there is always something else, that kind of thing. Like when I go, for example, to the bars and stuff, I have a friend that was in Colombia, actually. It was part of our group. It was a really nice guy. We went to a bar, and then this guy hit on every possible girl, like dude, just focus. There's one of them, just focus and pick up that lady. Why are you just bringing every girl into the table? Like, and eventually, like with me at night, you just come drunk, go home and sleep. Like, dude, why are you doing this? Just focus on one thing. This is amazing. What do you want? Isn't it what you want? So that mentality is same in life as well. Like just focus on the amazing price action that is in front of you. Don't look at the Meta, Tesla, or another thing. That's how I think very important. A lot of traders, especially new traders, they just want to jump from one asset class to another. Oh, crypto is good. No penny stocks. Oh, look at that guy. But just learn one thing and try to be good at it. That's my at least opinion.
See, was he carpet bombing?
Yeah, he was carpet bombing, and I feel like sad, like he was in Cartagena. Like I was wondering, like, come on, man, like, why are you doing this? And he already had 3 girls on the table, and then he was going bringing 3 other girls, and then he was making them uncomfortable, and they were leaving. Like, what are you doing? Carpet bombing. Same as trading. Like, you gotta really focus. Like Meta and Tesla is pretty good, and you don't want to have so many things that you jump over. So
All right. Well,
Tesla's
Tesla's bouncing back a bit here now. We're getting that was a nice little consolidation right at yesterday's low.
So
See what the
let's see
markets.
what is more UPS VST. What's VST is English scanner, and people are saying VST. What is that? Vista Corporation. Never heard of that one. Wow. One is also Meta, kind of
Tesla's
bouncing
squeezing
back, but
back here. Might come back up to the VWAP. See, where's VWAP on Tesla?
SOXL is such a garbage. IWM was very nice. Yeah, Tesla. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want to stay away from Tesla.
397 is VWAP. We're getting through the 9 moving average, and we're coming up maybe the 20. 392 would be 20 EMA. if you felt inclined to short it there. And I've had a pretty good day myself, so I'm not really, I don't know if I want to take another trade.
Danny, you're trading PLTR? Yes.
Wow, OAK. Oh, wow. Crap. That was one hell of a trade today. Okay, Oakley Dokley.
Yeah, Oakley is running up crazily. Like, what happened to not NVDA needed no energy anymore type of thing with deep sea?
Yeah,
What happened to that scenario?
I don't know. Still need energy, I guess.
So the question, Harsham, is I do trade the strategies in my book. I think like today, Meta was opening range breakout. What I'm going to do in this new book is talking about like this 5 minute engulfing crack is like in my book, I talk about the 4 or 5 strategies, and those are essentially the basics of how you develop a system. So in this new book that I'm going to publish very soon, is we're going to talk about some of execution, trade management, and more of like I have a couple of strategies. The two trade books that I have, I'm going to walk around, and then in one chapter we're going to talk about the trade books of our peak capital traders that they develop. Because in the bootcamp, what we do is we help you to build the actually trade. So for Meta today was nothing except the 5 minute open range breakup that I teach in my book. So isn't it the 5 minute open range breakup? You see my chart? That is a 5 minute open range breakout. However, it doesn't seem like a 5 minute open range breakout, because what you read in the first book was the basics of a strategy, like a Wikipedia page of how engine works or how a gas chromatography machine works. That's a Wikipedia, just a short basics. But in the new book that I want to publish is I want to actually walk you a little bit more about, with more screenshots, about the decision-making process. That, for example, look at this squeeze with volume in this 937, while you're looking at the 5 minute and you see the 5 minute is becoming an engulfing crack, while 1 minute it gives you a really good entry when you're squeezing above the VWAP. So these are the things that I couldn't really put in the first book because there's just too much. But now you have to look at these two charts at the same time while it's live, while the candlesticks are actually forming. So you see that this candlestick is bearish, and then suddenly a bullish candlestick is forming while you see the squeeze happens around the VWAP. Do you see my chart? Harsham, if you look at my chart, while you're dealing with a stock that is up 4% for earning news, while the market shows a strength. So you put all of these windows at the same time, and if you have a level 2 signal here, that would be cherry on top. So I can't put this one in the first book. So, but what I can do is I can, invite you to come and watch on YouTube or watch in chat room to see how I trade at the beginning, so you can kind of get an understanding of how the operation of the strategy, how the execution works. And if you really want to learn, then you can actually go watch all these 20 strategies that different people have designed. We are actually having replay on that. We build a replay tool for you to play around with it. Then there is a real-time simulator that you can actually practice on that. Then we have the boot camp that walk you through step by step, that you can actually send your trade book to people, you get the feedback from it. And then we'll give you a funded account to even test what you learn on that before you actually go into the live trading for yourself. So we're gonna, this is a situation, like it's not really gut feeling, it's experience that how to put, like, see how many steps you have to put together. I'm gonna draw it on my chart again. So first of all, you have to look at the 5 minute candlestick to make a strategic decision. You have to make a 1 minute chart to make a tactical decision for entries and stop loss. And then you have to look at the stock in play. How's the situation? What are the level 2 or book map is giving you? How is the overall market, S&P 500 or QQQ doing? And how is the time and sales and order flow tells you if there is any breakout is happening or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, five, six, seven, eight things at the same time has to be processed. Often, time of the day. What's the time of the day? And all together, you have to evaluate them at the same time to make a quick decision. That's how day trading works. That's why a lot of algos people try to find algo, because there's a lot of cognitive decisions that you have to do at the same time. So it's not gut feeling; it's more like an experience. Like a driver, the first time that you drive, do you remember how actually you were driving? um, like it was very difficult. Like first time that I was driving, especially in Iran, we use the standard transmission, so it's very difficult. Like, you have the clutch and everything. It's crazy. But now you're just texting and driving. It's just a muscle memory.
Of course, you shouldn't be doing
You shouldn't be doing it. Absolutely, yeah,
here. We do not advocate texting and driving.
yeah.
Ooh, I
But the
think
good thing is, and sorry, just one thing. The
looks
good
like
news is, guys, that by the time that you build your trade book, like a lot of people like write these trade books printed, and we ask you to in bootcamp to do that. But a lot of people think this is stupid because you can't make a decision just going through the papers and stuff and seeing what you wrote. By the time that you build it, you actually have to build the muscle memory, but you have to go through the process of building it and printing it and put the screenshots and anything. So it actually build the muscle memory in that. And of course, you adjust it. That's why the journaling tool, we build it for you in bootcamp, that you're going to go through that. So by the time that you build it, you don't need to read anything. Like John takes the break of half the day, like even while he's sleeping, because he's done it for so many years. And his strategies are super simple, that he just, based on experience, he knows that this is a trade that he should take or not.
so reshorted Nvidia while you were talking. You can see here on Bookmap, this is a setup I love to see. This breakdown right here through these levels, and then you got a big level at 120 here. Qs are struggling to stay green here. Okay, good place to cover shorts if you're short Nvidia. This is yesterday's low right here. Tesla's breaking out through the VWAP by the looks of it. All right, that's Nvidia. Tesla's doing this squeeze again. It's through the VWAP. It's back in the green. It looks like what is this here? This level here, 399. This could be going to. There's a bit of an order at 400, but it's not very big. So, but we know Tesla can squeeze pretty hard once it gets going. Yeah, he has an NQ. 60, yeah. Qs are bouncing, SPY is bouncing. Both the Q and the SPYs are back at VWAP right now. So see how they react here. All right. SPY rejected. Qs are trying to push through there. Nvidia it bounced exactly where I said it would bounce. Still that big order at 120 that could get filled here. Don't forget, 3:30 we will be back on live. We'll be going over Apple's earnings. Oh, that was quite the rejection of VWAP on the SPY and the Qs. There you go, video back down to low of day. See if Nvidia gets through these in these orders here. You know, 130 or 120. See if it really starts to drop here. I'm not in Nvidia anymore, so we'll just watch it. It does look like it's going to drop here. Here we go. It's going through 120. Here we go. Big drop. Wow. All right. Big pop on the options, the put options, the 120s. Wow, I did a nice little trade there, quick one on SPX options. Put options looked like they were going to break down. Got a really nice flush there.
All right, guys, I'm back at your service. What did I miss? Oh, market went red. Wow. Okay, all right.
Yeah, look at Nvidia's really getting taken to the woodshed,
I know NVIDIA is just no
as they
fun,
say.
no love.
We love
Oh,
for
interesting.
NVIDIA.
Wow, NVIDIA is getting
Yeah,
destroyed.
Sean. Sean, did you get that move on SPX? Those options?
Nice, Sean.
Oh, you did. You traded SPX options too. Beauty.
Yeah, Sean's a very good trader. Nice, Sean. $6,000. That's very nice. Yeah, we
Yeah,
got to
that
get
was
into these
what
options.
size? What size are you taking? My God, man. Are you insane? Just kidding.
So Mystery Trader,
Yeah, that
yes.
was
So opening range breakdown, yeah, could be something. Guys, just one thing I wanted to mention that we have the Vancouver Summit end of March. I'd like to invite all of you to attend. And I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be 3 days event, fun, art, performance, festival, and of course, education and live trading. Last year we had a very, very successful event, and we actually this year expanded on that. And if you join, guys, the money that you're actually signing up, it all goes toward the food and the venue. You really don't make any money out of the event. And I give you the credit for the next boot camp if you join us. So anytime that you join for the next boot camp, you can actually use that. So essentially, it would be free for you. Um, because I really like to bring the community together, and making money out of this community or event has never been our goal. Like a lot of people are doing that, and then they don't do it anymore because they just can't make any money. Like I was talking to SMB Capital, they did the live trading summit, but they said we lost money on it, and they don't want to do it again. At least I haven't heard that. But again, for me, goal was never really to be profitable on that. My mentality is to bring the community together. So if you guys come and attend, the money that you're paying for the tickets, which again it goes all to the venue and food, you would be impressed by the quality of that. Is I'll give you the credit if you want to join the capital. So I would love to have actually as many as of you. I want to have a much more well attended event than a profitable event. So yeah, I'd love to have you guys. If you have any questions, like we have a discounted hotel as well with Paradox. We have the after party at Paradox. We have also the ski trip after that. Some people are organizing it with some other people that you can join for skiing, because end of March in Vancouver is amazing. The city is warm enough that you can go in the beach, and then up in the mountain in Whistler, 2 hours drive, you still have really deep powder in the Alpine that you can ski. Like some of the best skiing I've ever done in my life has been in April. The hotel block, actually, we should put the link on that. I'm actually asking to Hamid right now um, in the web page. So,
Yeah,
and again, remember,
we've
guys,
got
all the
yeah
prices. Yeah.
we have some amazing a lot of really good speakers too that are going to be at this event, including the TED Talk, of course.
Yeah, so we have
So it's,
the really good people flying from all over the world for this. So we put a lot of energy and time on it, and I really hope that you guys can attend, because we do spend a lot of energy and resources of our community into this, and everybody comes. Like Eamon from Russia is coming, Abby from Dubai is coming, Colombian cartels are coming, Lenny and Pierre and Caro. So the Mexico cartel is coming, Abiel and Timas. I'm just kidding. I probably should have said that. Like everybody's coming. So shit, I shouldn't have said that live on YouTube. Um, everybody's
and
coming.
you're yeah, and you're talking about me complaining about millennials.
I know. Like I got into trouble eventually with YouTube talking about cartels and substances, and eventually they're gonna ban our account on YouTube. Oh man, It's okay. Life is too short to not break the rules.
We
Yeah,
could
I can't wait
do a
until
quick
the
poll.
track from YouTube.
We could do a quick
Hmm?
poll, find out how many millennials are in the room. How many people we insulted.
Yeah, don't worry about this. Let's get back into character. Tesla is up 2% again, Brian. Can you believe that Tesla is back up to VWAP?
Oh, I know. Like it
It's
just took a
reshaped.
huge jump. This is crazy price action again. After that big sell-off on the SPY, it just bounced right back. Almost got to previous day close, and the Qs went red for a few minutes there.
Baba. Yeah, no. Baba is up 4% too. Yeah, China is coming back up, huh?
Yeah, looks like Nvidia's also trying to stage a bit of a comeback.
So you're gonna stay in Paradox Hotel, Zohair. Paradox Hotel is where they have the event, and downtown Vancouver is pretty nice and small. So any hotel around that area should be good. Um, I think Paradox Hotel has a discounted rate, like a $200 per night, and which is I think really good for a 5-star hotel. But if you don't want to stay there, any hotel in that area neighborhood near the water is reasonable, and all the hotel qualities are pretty good. And again, remember that Canadian dollar is like 45% cheaper than US dollar, so your
Yeah,
dollar goes a long way.
yeah. Dollar
And
goes a long way here. Think of
yeah,
getting
generally,
thinking it's like
it's a
going
city.
to a Walmart. You get everything for lowest price is the law.
Um, yeah, so I think we do have a link. I don't know actually. I thought that the link is on the website. Give me today. We're gonna put that one. Um, for the for we're gonna get that link up there 100%. I don't know why actually it's not there, so I do apologize for that. um, do apologize for that. Yeah, guys, again, remember, if you come and if you can make the travel arrangement, I guarantee you that you're gonna get something useful out of it in terms of knowledge and experience in trading. Plus, I guarantee you actually have fun. So bring your spouse, bring your partner to um, actually have a good time in Vancouver. Um, but
Yeah,
again, the whole point is not to have party together or to just have drinks together. No, the point is actually to learn, to get something out of this trip that you're making. So I'm committed to make sure that you're actually getting something out of it, to go back a better trader out of this.
and just and just the ability to be able to have conversations with a lot of us. Thor is going to be there. A lot of people like Thor. Jared, Megan, all these people that you listen to every day. We're all going to be here.
Yes.
John.
John has promised that he's going to come and he's going to stay. John doesn't like traveling very much.
Well, yeah, neither
Jared is
does
coming.
Jared, but yeah, we're getting him out of his natural habitat. Spies
So there
crawling back
last
up.
year, I think we had a mix of people with the spouses, and we had a mix actually. We had we had mixed people. A lot of people come with family, a lot of people. Also, I think we were half mix. Yeah, Jared, I know. It's Brian is. I'm sorry, Brian is not.
I know. Okay, Jared, we'll come up with something new.
All right, let's get some questions.
Phew. Wow.
Tesla level 2 at 400. Brian, Tesla actually blew my mind, this bounce on it. I was not expecting this.
I know.
Do you think
It's
it could be long?
struggling to get through yesterday's high, despite this comeback here. Wow, Netflix really took a tumble. It looked like it was heading for 1,000, and now it's it dropped like $25. Of course, that's not a huge amount, I guess, percentage wise. Here's
So the significance of the price action after hours, Teddy's asking question, what's the significance of price action after hours? So the very important thing about after hour is that you cannot use market orders. So you have to send the order as a limit order. So this level 2 is called liquidity pool. So you only after hours or pre-market, you have to add liquidity to the market. You cannot take out the liquidity like the market orders are doing. So, and that's the tricky part about it, because getting a stopped out on pre-market or post-market is very tricky, because you can't just press the
right.
market order and panic it out. So you have to really, getting filled is very tricky. And that's why you have to leave the orders in there. That's why TNA, like I had my order in TNA before, and then again, you put the type of order, you can do the day plus. Day plus means that the day and after hours, or you can just go, for example, GTC, good till canceled. So for TNA, my order, I put some orders on TNA this morning, and my order was GTC, means good till canceled. And as soon as the market opened, again, I go back into the early morning, like 4 a.m., like you can see my chart, I'm actually trying to go right at 4 a.m. As the market opened, I don't know why in the first minute I didn't get filled, but in the second minute at 4:01, I got filled 8,000 shares of, that's actually all of it is mine, 8,000 shares at 45.52. I can't press, so the volume is actually 8,000. That's mine. So you can't press the market order. You have to send the limit order in there. And it's very tricky to trade it because, again, getting a stop down, especially when the moves are crazy, you got to be very, very careful on that. And of course, you don't have options trading on that. That's why
No.
I'm not really big fan of pre-market and post-market trading. Brian sometimes does, but I'm not really. My big positions are usually during the market hours.
Yeah, and if you're going to trade pre or post market, it's better to, unless you're taking a swing position. Like sometimes I'll take a swing position and buy stock after hours, but it has to be a fairly liquid stock, because if you're trying to trade in a liquid stock, the spread is going to be really bad. And so, and if an occasional time that I do trade in the pre-market, it has to be something that's in play. There has to be lots of liquidity. There's lots of volume pre-market, because typically volume in the pre-market, if the stock's not in play, the volume's almost non-existent, and you can get you get market makers play with prices too. I mean, look at Apple in the pre-market today. There's a great example. Very low volume, and they sold it off. And then as soon as they got close to the open, they bought it right back up again. So a lot of games get played in the pre-market.
Yeah, again, stop losses are limit orders. That's as Brandon mentioned that in YouTube, guys. Again, it's got to be super tricky when you put the stop loss, you gotta becomes a stop limit order. So that's why. Oh, Meta is completely rolling over. Wow, we got a really nice run on Meta.
Yeah, Meta's dropping here. Tesla's kind of pulling back now. Market's pulling back again. We are in a downtrend on the Qs. So after that pop and drop at around 10 o'clock, we've been trading below the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart. So it has tried to get up a few times, but it keeps getting rejected.
Hotkey to get, I don't know. I mean, for your hotkey, I think probably you have to use the limits instead of market. I've never actually tried that, but maybe Brandon can help. He's our gas guy. It's a good question about hotkey and the. I also don't know about hotkeys and the options. I think there's hotkeys and the options is also super important, because one of the problems that I don't trade options is that just the fast execution. Let's quickly find the first strike price and everything. So NVDA is fighting at 119. Meta completely rolled over. Tesla, it's possible to go to 400. Somebody's asking if Tesla can go to 400. It's possible, but it's kind of really in a very weird area. Like there are multiple levels nearby that it's kind of making it very not attractive to trade.
Yeah.
Like we have 383, 385, previous day close, and then we have VWAP 400.
The thing about Tesla is it just makes, sometimes it just squeezes people. I mean, right now, the resistance appears to be very close to yesterday's high, which is, and that's very close to the VWAP too. So 397.50. I mean, it's going to have to break through the VWAP, and it's also going to have to break that prior high to get, and then it should have an easy shot at 400. But if you look at Bookmap, let's take a look at Bookmap on Tesla. Let's see what orders are sitting. There is an order sitting there at 400.
A little bit tricky. Like it's one of those
Yeah.
areas that I don't like to trade Tesla at all. Like I prefer, and if you look at the daily chart, it's kind of intraday range. Like, it's now area. So again, look at the daily chart. The price right now is between this congested area. Like we like to trade the stocks that are in the daily breakouts, or either to the upside or to the downside, like Meta. That's an all-time high. Look at the daily chart on Meta. Lovely. Just want to marry that price action. Look at that. Like this huge move up and just boom. See that these are the type of area that you want to trade, all-time high, all-time low.
Yeah, see, the problem with taking an entry on Tesla here is it could go either way, really. I mean, it's not what I would call an A+ setup or even an A. It kind of looks like it wants to go up, but you sort of like a B- or a C type trade here to take it long. If you're long already, I'd use this recent pullback as your stop out, which would be somewhere around 394. Again, Q's tried to get above the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart, couldn't do it, rejected again. We are kind of flattening out on the moving averages, though, so you never know. Might take a bit of a this long consolidation might result in a breakout to the upside. See what Meta's doing here. There's a order that started to build here at 690. Might actually might make a move down there at some point.
Question, guys. We have 10 minutes. I'd like to get some questions. Any questions? And YouTube or in the chat room, I'd like to see if anyone can. So Vinny asking a question about the resistance and meta. So you really don't have any resistances on all-time high. So when you're trading at the all-time high or all-time low, you're in the uncharted territory. You really don't have anything. There's no price level history before, and there is there's nothing you can trade based on that, at least as far as I know. So what you can do is looking at the pre-market and post-market price action. So for example, Meta, if you look at the 5-minute chart, for example, in the yesterday after hours, so when looking at it, is went up all the way up to 715. But the pre-market and post-market, it doesn't come into the daily chart. That's why in all-time high, sometimes it's not really all-time high, because in the pre-market could have been going up and down. But the daily chart really is only for trading hours. Otherwise, the charts would be super ugly, because in the pre-market post-market price can go significantly crazily. So the 715 was an area for Meta that yesterday after the earning went hit and then came down. But again, in the daily chart, it doesn't show it itself. But what you can do is, obviously, when I went long, the break of a pre-market high was another one, like 698 was the pre-market high, and I added more on the break of pre-market high. From now on, if you have any pivot points, because pivot points also pivot levels also calculated by previous day levels. But if you don't have any pivot, which in this case we didn't have, you can go with the round numbers. Like, for example, 700, 705, 710. And as you see, it actually did go all the way up to 710.79. So round numbers would be good. Or based on R, you say, I'm going to take $1 or $2 risk per share, and I'm going to partial at $4, $6, $8, and $10 profit. You can also do that as well. That's also a very good approach. Like in this case, for example, when I went long on Meta, my average became like 696, and I said, okay, I'm going to give you $2 here, and then I start partialing at around $2. So 698, 700, 702, 704, 710, that kind of thing. Then you actually have a reasonable risk to reward in all of your trades. That's also a approach that you can have. Round number is usually the best. If you're using something like Bookmap or seeing the liquidities, that's also very nice. You can actually see where the liquidity grabs are. So the next bootcamp starts in April, Mahindra, and is all online. And again, people who are coming to Vancouver, you get the credit for the bootcamp if you want to join it. But our bootcamp is all online. Everything is recorded as well. Any more questions in the chat room or in YouTube?
Ronak, maintaining trading psychology and managing risk, that's two of the most important things in trading. And of course, we have lots of books available in Resource Center, and I think a lot of the speakers that'll be at our meetup in March are going to be talking about some of those topics. So.
So
Wow, the Q's is still
so,
selling off here.
Yeah, the market is running over. Yeah. Any advice
Market is
for risk management? So risk management is the most important thing that you can have in your trading, and essentially having a stop loss is, just risk management. Like having a stop loss for every trade that you get into that.
Wow, look at Nvidia's low day. There's your 690 on Meta. The next big order is 680. I don't know if we're going to get there. 680 would be still be in the green, but 680 is pretty close to yesterday's high. See, here's an example of Tesla. Now, it looked like it kind of looked like it was going to break out and maybe go to the 400, but you can see here we rolled right over. A lot of that was probably due to the selling that we've started to see on the Qs and SPY. As I mentioned already, we are still in a downtrend, and you can see here what happens. We get this consolidation, and the price is most likely to move after a consolidation, is most likely to continue the trend. So we've got a trend. The Qs are solidly red now.
Yeah, Meta is also completely rolling over. Meta looks like it wants to go red. So one question was interesting that I actually would like to answer is that the question was, how did you know that Meta is going to go break out, that the market was weak? So Meta is a completely stock in play. Like, he had a very interesting earning. It was like the price action was completely independent from the market. So in these case situations, when you have something that is fundamentally, alpha, then you can just trade it. Another question was, your confirmation was the close. Yes. So you want some to price action close above the VWAP for me, volume weighted average price. This is the most important indicator. So you wanted to close above. So this one at 936 kind of closed, but actually I didn't see it, but I might have considered this because this is a very big candlestick. I might have considered going long a little bit earlier, but the second one was weather because it just popped up with volume on that. So that would have been a much, much better confirmation for me. But yes, you want to close above the VWAP. So very important. SPX, filling it on. So I don't use any bands for VWAP. So my VWAP has no anchor, or I don't have any band. So if you're using DAS, you can just use it as is. So essentially, it's a calculating volume and price forever. So anything that you, and I use pre and post market. I think what Paris does, Paris has two VWAP on its chart, one with pre and post market and one another without. So it had different colors. So you can actually have two. They're not that hugely different, but they're a little bit different. So if you want, but I like to keep my charts simple. So why did I buy TNA? So yeah, so that's a good question. So TNA, so IWM is the most rate sensitive index. And I knew that if the Feds are going to be dovish and say good stuff, one thing that pops up more than anything else would be IWM. And as you see here, IWM today is up 0.71%. It went up all the way up to 1.5%. And then SPY and Qs are kind of flat or red. So this trade was, for me, it was more like a, gamble. And I said, the market is super bullish environment. And I doubt that Feds are gonna say something that impacts the market negatively. Jay Powell has been very cautious with the new administration, and they even with the based on the executive order, they removed all the DEI and everything, even though they're not legally obligated to do anything based on the the president's order. They're separate entities, but I kind of got this feeling that he's going to support the market. And President Trump obviously is of the opinion that the rates are still too high. So I kind of doubt that he's going to do something that impacts the market negatively. If anything, his tone is going to be something that we're going to bring the rates lower. And I actually watched the session, the Q&A, and there was a lot of questions, political questions, and his answer was solid that I'm not commenting on the, elected officials at all. So that's why I bought some TNA in the pre-market. I just had a wild ride, and as soon as it closed green, I said, okay, this is gonna go green. And then the Tesla earning came and Meta earning came, and it was really good. And I realized that okay, the market is probably gapping up tomorrow. So that's why I put my order good till canceled today. I said, I'm gonna go. But it was a small position, so I was ready for it if it even drops to maybe add more on that. So I don't really have a great trade book on these swing trading events. It was more like one of these gut feelings strategies that I did, but I did mention it in the chat room that I'm doing it with 8,000 shares. If just to anyone wants to do that, but I was ready to.
I was surprised.
I think it's under a lot of political pressure. Feds are under a lot of political pressure right now to lower the rates. So, and does impact, even though they don't legally obligated to do that, but the legal pressure, the political pressure will impact I think their decision making.
Ooh, wow. Q's still selling off here.
Yeah, Meta also dropped significantly. Meta is red, honestly.
Kind of get FOMO. I was kind of thinking about taking some SQQQ, but so now we're pretty extended. To the downside. Wow, Meta actually might hit that 380 level.
Tesla, you mean? Or Meta? Meta 380, no. So now we're at 8. We are going to have Avi. Avi, what did you trade, buddy? Today, Avi probably have killed it in Meta. Your Avi higher time frame strategy is pretty awesome.
Can you guys hear me? We live?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Cool. Yeah, it's a fun day, huh? Well, I was actually I haven't been very active at all today. I just took one little attempt on Google earlier, and now I'm enjoying the Tesla short. So that's it so far.
How many millions of
I
dollars
do
did you
think
make,
we
Avi?
have a lot more opportunities. Sorry?
How many millions? How many millions of dollars did
Millions?
you make?
I'll let you know the end of the day. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
There's
Avi's trades
still
all
more
day,
opportunity
so.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, that's
Today's got
great.
that
So
feel.
great Thursday, guys. I'll be back in the afternoon for Apple earning. I think it's going to be super nice. Apple earning, we're going to see that. So I'm going to do the recap for the trade. This is one of my favorite strategies, one and done. And yeah, I'm closing my day with 51 grand and getting back into life. So hand it over to Avi and Carlos, and I think the chat room boss is coming.
Yeah. Have a good rest of the day, everybody. Keep it green. We'll see y'all later in the day for Apple earnings. Take it away, Avi.
Awesome.
I'll be
Thanks, Brian.
listening.
Thanks. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Fun as always.
All right, let me
How are you guys doing here on YouTube today?
And log off from our chat here. Just give me 1 second so Eamon can take over here. So let me just go ahead and disconnect here. YouTube, stay with us. We'll be right up with you in a second. Just gotta turn this off over here. Okay. And excellent. All right, so Avi, Eamon, is in the room. We're good, and me and Avi are on YouTube. All right. Hey, Avi, how's it going, man?
All good, Carlos. How are you this morning?
Good, man. Tired, but okay, man. Can't complain. Can't complain. So things are good. Market is good.
everything is awesome. So no complaints.
Nice, nice. Yeah, oddly enough, I'm tired too. You won't believe it, but I was actually in the BBT chat room till 6 a.m. my time
I
last night.
believe it
So
because you probably was not on when I
it
was
was so
telling
big.
Peter. Yeah, I believe it. I was telling Peter. Uh, I told Peter, hey Peter, after I put the kids down to bed, I came down to my office and I was gonna shut everything down because I was so tired. I left everything on. I just left. So I came back, shut all the computers down. As I'm coming back at 9 to shut down the computers, guess what I see in the chat room? I see you chatting about stocks. So I'm hearing this with Mr. T and some other members in the community. I'm like, what is going on? Are
Yeah.
we going 24 hours live here on the YouTube chat room? So yeah, I know I know you was up very early your time. So awesome, man.
Oh my
Good
gosh.
stuff.
Yeah. Once you get into it, you kind of let it go, and then next thing you know, it's sunrise. Like, holy crap. So that was
Goes
that experience for
fast,
me.
man. Goes fast.
Yeah. But yeah,
Over
here we are.
yeah,
All
over
good.
in
I'm
chat,
very curious
guys.
here on Tesla.
Good
Mhm.
afternoon, good morning, depending where you're located. So yeah, good to be here, guys. I see some of the comments. Hello, hello, and yeah, let's get to it. So you did have a lot of trade today, Avi. Let's talk about what you did today.
Yeah, I've been very mellow so far. Had an attempt on Google, that one didn't go. And then I just exited the short on Tesla as it was just as we're talking, it went the other way. So basically out of break even on that one as well. So uneventful so far for me. But I think it's a good looking kind of day. We have Tesla on the move. We have Meta on the move. I think there's going to be opportunities all day. So this might be another late night for me. We'll find out.
Yeah, and then we have Apple today later. So that should be exciting as well. Right now, Apple is I want to not moving a lot. Seems pretty flat. Hold on, let me take a look at the daily. Yeah, it's pretty flat. Even if you look at the daily, not a whole lot of movement. Just kind of gonna wait for that earnings to see how things are doing. It's gonna be interesting because they have so many issues. They got the stuff with China, declining sales. It's just not great iPhone sales over the last couple of quarters. So we'll see what it looks like for them here in the quarter.
Yeah,
So
interesting. Interesting on Apple. Did you get into any of this stuff today?
not
Meta
Apple's
long
not
term?
Apple, but I did get into Nvidia. So Nvidia was nice, and I did take the meta trade with Andrew. So I did jump on that meta trade. Didn't
Nice.
ride it all the way as he did to the top. I got out a little bit before, but I did get in the meta trade as well. So and a lot of you guys did too in the chat room over on YouTube. He asked who got in, and many traders took advantage of that trade. It was so clean, man. So clean. And it's nice when you see that because we haven't been getting that over the last couple of days. And then Nvidia, I did get into on that one as well, a short at the open, and then we had a big pull back to the VWAP. So I got stopped out of break even. So not a big one there, but two good trades, man. Because man, this week started rough for me. I think I told you it wasn't great. It
Yep.
was just struggling with the the choppiness. So it's funny. We were talking about it on the live yesterday with Peter, Brian, and Jared. That maybe after this earnings come out, these top of four, four out of the Magnificent Seven, we should get some smoother type trading because it's like felt like the last couple of days we're just waiting for what's next, and the stocks are just going sideways. So we should get some cleaner trading going forward now that we got these four. Well, today with Apple out of the way, so should be fun. Should be fun.
Yeah, should be back to business as usual. But of course, this kind of volatility this week is full of opportunities as well. As long as you manage your risk, you'll be all right. Don't blow it up because you get big opportunities or big moves, as you can see today. It'd be nice
Oh
to be back to
yeah,
normal,
yeah,
I'm kind of familiar
yeah,
with the normal.
yeah. Oh man, Nicholas, sorry to hear that. So I'm looking at Nicholas, one of our good time viewers here. He got crushed on AVGO today, so sorry to hear that. But I'm just looking at that 5 minute chart, man. And I mentioned this before. This stock is difficult to trade. So I think I had it on my secondary. Actually, no, I didn't add it today. Today I didn't add it. It is a very difficult stock to trade. Just look how wicky it is. All the candles. It's just yeah. That's a tough trade, man. So yeah, it's not an easy ticker. These type of stocks, man, when they go in a direction, you can get $2, $3, $4 move very quickly, very easily. But when they don't, the chop is really bad, man, with that low volume too. So
Yeah. Be careful with the exotic stuff. It'll eat you up if you're not careful.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man. So I'm seeing an interesting breakdown on AMD at the moment. Getting to the
Let's
low of day and looks
see.
good for a breakdown. I don't see any strength in it anywhere, even though it is basically at where the buyers have been previously, but it doesn't look like they got a lot in them. So you guys are like low
Yeah,
of day breaks. That's seems to be happening there. And
yeah,
yeah, Meta's just been personally the biggest tragedy of my life in the last 2 weeks. Just lots of opportunities not taken. Just
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, yeah, it's my biggest strategy too, because strategy because I have not taken no parts of Meta, and until today, but yeah, it has been really, really good. But look at this, look at the selling, man. I mean, I feel like I had a great trade on it towards the long at the beginning of a 5 minute opening range crack with Andrew and the rest of the community. But the big move is the short of a VWAP. I mean, that is. Wow, we're giving everything back. So, yeah, might even end up going red.
Yep, very interesting. And it was wild after our aftermarket yesterday. Absolutely insane. And again,
Yeah.
so you can expect it to be wild today, and it's pretty wild. It looked good going up, but the move down is even bigger. That's what I try and target. That's why I usually, I like to
Yes.
trade late in the day. I try and target the bigger moves of the day because that tends to
Yep.
happen
Yep.
later. But so far today, I missed out on this so far. Let's see though.
Man,
Still
that is a
opportunities.
heck of a move. And look at those levels you got there, right? So you got the top on Meta. You got that middle section where in the pre-market you had a little bit of test of resistance as well, going back to even after hours last night. Got the low of the pre-market, and now you're breaking down from that. So man, they're
Yeah,
pretty clear there.
yeah,
And it
the
looks
levels are
to
fun.
want to go lower. Yeah, yeah,
Lower, yep. There you go. So about 671 or so. That's the next level down. Let's see how this behaves.
yeah,
But yeah, a whole lot of fun. And just as we speak, AMD looks like it is doing that low of day breakout just now, just as we're talking about it. So there's another one, an interesting one. So let's see what happens here. Apple as well now, I think is becoming cool. Let's see. Again, low of day, but Apple's been truly messy just recently. Let it clean up before getting involved. It's not something I want to touch.
yeah,
AMD
yeah.
though is the one that looks good.
Man,
There
Meta's
it is.
about to go red. Let's see AMD.
Oh,
AMD.
breakdown.
I thought we were gonna have a good positive day as far as the stocks and their movement, but they're all giving everything back.
Yeah.
Tesla's about to go red again. What is going on? So yeah, SPY's down. Everything heading south right now. So yeah, so much for having some good earnings reactions. It didn't matter this morning.
Yeah,
Everything
just
went the other
don't
way.
matter.
Yep.
These stocks will do whatever the hell they want, huh? Irrelevant of what we want them to do or what we think
Yeah.
they may do. That's just how that goes.
This is I don't trade earnings, right? Because I think it's just too wild for me. But I know the day after earnings, like right now, you're gonna get some great moves, especially on stocks like that. So when we go live today, even Apple, don't feel the need to have to trade and pressure yourself. Unless you have a strategy. If you have a strategy, by all means, go for it. But the following day, we're gonna get so many opportunities. So there's no need to rush it and have that pressure.
Absolutely. And there goes Apple now, just as we were talking about it. There goes a low of day break. It's just following AMD, really. That is
Yep. Yep.
interesting. Oh boy. And right there, right, right where it is right now, I'd expect it to find some trouble. There we go. Yeah, lots of opportunities, earnings plays and stuff. Sometimes I wonder I should just not trade during earnings week and come back to regular routine because it's just so stimulating. It's just way too much. I'm just, trying to get into this. And then I get upset when I don't catch it. Like, oh man, like I didn't catch Meta today. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meta.
so you have those thoughts sometimes,
Yep. Yep.
but all
This
good.
drop is
it's almost a $30 drop, guys. I mean, this is this is pretty intense. So, yep. All right, we got
Oh,
some
man.
questions in chat. Let's get to them. Let's see over here. How many screens do we use? We'll start there, and if you're above that, if you don't mind resending the question, we'll get to it. I use three 27-inch monitors. I gotta add one more because we'll be doing all these live shows now. So I'm gonna be adding one more, but not for trading. It's gonna be just for monitoring the stream and the stuff we're doing here, right? Because we want to expand our YouTube channel. We see me and Avi going live all the way until 12. We're doing more live streams, earning streams. So hopefully you guys like that stuff. If you do, make sure you hit that thumbs up. 'Cause that kind of tells us, that's the gauge to tell us, okay, continue to do this. If not, don't continue to do this, right? We want to put stuff out there that provides value for you guys. So for day trading itself, just three 27-inch monitors. How about you, Avi? How many do you have?
Yeah, I've made a recent change on that. I used to have six monitors. I think they were 24 inches, and I
Uh-huh.
put them all away, and I got a 55-inch now, just one monitor. And this thing is just enormous. Like when watching you in the pre-market show, like you're life
Yeah.
size, It's immersive. I
Massive.
love
You could draw some
it.
legs
Yeah.
up under the monitor, and you could feel like I'm actually there talking to you. That's great.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. It feels like that. It's
Oh
great. It's this
man.
big curved monitor, and it's overall it's less screen real estate than I used to have, but it's far easier to use. I like it. So
Yeah,
yeah, just
yeah,
one big one basically, and that's all there is for me. So yeah,
yeah,
there's all kinds
yeah.
of trading setups, guys. You can, set it up however you please. Yeah, I've chopped and changed over the years. So, more questions here. Usman, do I trade all day? Yep, I do. I don't like to say it that way. I trade if and when my setup presents itself. So, and if that happens to be right at the open, sure. If that happens to be at 2 p.m., sure. Whatever. That's how I do it.
Yeah. All
Cool.
right. See, they're waiting for the president to speak on the plane crash. If you guys haven't heard, if you haven't looked at the news yet, of course, American Airlines crashed this last night around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night in Washington D.C. And I think there's 64 people on the plane and then 3 military pilots. So again, our hearts goes out to the family, anybody affected by it. We haven't had something like this in the U.S. in like 15 years, right? So it is a little bit shocking because, Avi, air travel is extremely safe. So
Yep.
it's definitely something went wrong here, but we'll know more as they find out what the heck happened.
Yeah, wow. Really heartbreaking to hear about that. I didn't even know until right now, until you mentioned it.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, so it's CRJ 7, I believe. So
Yeah.
just coming in like right on final. When you look at it, it's like literally like 1,500 feet coming in for runway 33, and looks like the helicopter was coming doing the river pattern, coming down the river, and again, don't want to speculate, but it looks like between the controller and the helicopter, some communication was missed because the helicopter should hold because the aircraft has priority, right? Especially when you're doing a training mission, because the helicopter can move all kinds of ways. It's kind of like sailing, right? And you probably know about this. If you have a sail, you kind of have priority over boats that are powered because the power boats can move in so many directions and have more control. But a sailboat doesn't. They just gotta get pushed with the wind. Same thing here. Aircraft going straight, you can't really turn sideways up or down that fast. The helicopter can. So something really went wrong here, man. It should have never happened, and I'm sure it was completely avoidable. So something fell through the cracks, and we'll see. So I see the president is waiting to speak on this here in a few minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Terrible to hear about that, but yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah,
Right of way rules for sure. Was there a mid-air collision? Do we know that,
yeah,
or
it's
did they just?
midair. No,
It
midair.
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is again so rare to happen now with technology. It was midair, and it looks like the helicopter came in and hit it from the side, right? And it
Mm,
broke in three pieces there. So, um,
right.
yeah, Brandon, it's I won't say it's a controller issue because the controller did tell him, hey, do you see the aircraft? Like this audio out already? Do you see the aircraft? And there's no confirmation from reporters or the recording that the helicopter responded back. We do or we don't. If you don't see it, the controller will tell you, well, hold position, don't keep moving forward, maintain your location. If you do see it, they'll tell you maintain visual separation. So that means the helicopter's in charge of making sure that he maintains the visual separation from the aircraft. That's kind of like the way that goes. But the audio doesn't confirm any of that. So
Yeah, Brendan, I'm an aviation enthusiast. So is so is my buddy Avi here. So I follow all the links of radio recordings from towers. You got people that have the stuff out already. So yeah, it's insane, man. All right,
Yeah.
but back to stocks. What do we got going on? Meta reversing.
Let's have a look.
Let's take a look here.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's found an area where the buyers are interested. I wouldn't go long here. The pattern isn't there yet. But yeah, for now you can see its behavior change, right? And where does it change? Well, pretty much at the levels. That's why you have levels. So interesting, could be fun. I'm seeing some strength all around, really. Even Tesla, Microsoft, quite a few things. But
Yeah.
let's see how this flows. Tesla is tempting. I want to go long on Tesla, but it's not really there yet. Yeah, there's a bit of strength coming in. How interesting. Let's see, Nvidia as well, but Nvidia's not at the level yet, or kind of in between. If you look at this, guys, Google is similar to Meta. You know, it gets to a level and its behavior changes. Now going the other way, right? So
Yeah. Yep.
levels, that's the value of levels, guys. Quite a cool thing, levels. All right, so we got Meta on the way up. We got Tesla looking to go up. Microsoft is curious to my eyes just because it's very close to my setup, but I'm not taking it. It's not there. I'd like this to be a really long tail hammer, and just prior to that, it had a large red candle, so I won't really go long right there on that. It's a half-baked setup, but tempting. Lots of temptation out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Look at that. Where am I looking? Gosh, I got so much stuff on the screens. I gotta let's try and focus. FL, what about Nvidia? Let's see, FL. Yeah, so Nvidia, right, like we said, it's in between the levels. So whatever it's doing there is really none of my business. As in, I don't want to look at it there. I want to look at it at a level. For now, it's just messy. So not worth looking at.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see here.
70, there we go. Okay. So what else? Yeah. You want to see something, guys? This is turning into some good stuff. You can see Apple break out of the level and going back to retest the level. And this is the kind of setup I tend to like. If it confirms a retest, then it's ready to go for a good, strong move down, a long way out. So I don't typically trade breakouts because, you know, it's basically a momentum trade. You get in, you get out quickly, you partial quickly, you get 2R if you're doing it right. I'd rather wait for a retest, get good confirmation on it. So it takes maybe 30 minutes of patience before you get the entry. And then just sit on it all day and it goes. So those are the kinds of trades I typically like. And Apple may be doing that. For now, again, it's not there. It still will take 15 minutes more before it, you know, even begins to look like that. But yeah, it's doing it so far. AMD, those of you who caught that low of day break earlier, about 10, 15 minutes ago, now it's going the other way. Fun.
Yeah, taking a look at AMD here. Yeah, just getting back to the above the previous day close at the moment. So we'll see where that goes. What we have? How about Rigetti? What did this do? I came back down to low of the day, previous day close. So not really doing a whole lot there this morning. How about UPS? UPS is still dropping. UPS is still dropping. Getting a little bit of a bounce right now, but man, down 17.4. This is a big drop. It's crazy to see these big companies like drop just 20% on a given day, right? We saw it with Nvidia the other day. We're seeing it with UPS now. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna drop 20% today. I mean, is that normal? I mean, that doesn't seem like something that should be happening with a company so big. This market is so volatile now. It's just it doesn't make sense, right? And it could spring back in a couple of days. It'll be back up to 134. This is why this swing trading for a couple of days is so difficult. Because how do you survive this year, right? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, you shouldn't be swinging into earnings. That's very dangerous. Long term stuff is different. There's an opportunity to buy if you're long term. You think UPS is never going to go out of business in the next 10 years, you buy here 110. You got a discount today. It's a sale. But the swing trading stuff, because it can hang out here for months before it comes back up to 134. So I always find that so difficult to trade.
Yeah. Wow. What happened with UPS? Was a bad earnings report? Is that right?
Yeah, they
Wasn't
had
there?
earnings. It was this morning. It was this morning. They had earnings, and their forecast was not great. Their guidance was not great, and their numbers were not great,
Okay.
as far as the quarter. So um, they're
Mm.
gonna feel it here. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Wow. That's a pretty wild move. Yeah, man. The market is wild. Swing trading during yeah, earnings releases and all that, man. A lot of people love it as it gets exciting, but it's if you don't manage risk, and how are you going to manage risk overnight? You're going to exit your position, enter your position. There's a lot of things to think about. So make sure you know what you're doing with that stuff. Let's see. So I'm seeing generally a fair bit of strength all around on most things on my screens.
A
Whoops, that's
bounce,
the
as
wrong
far as
one.
like a bounce back right now, or
Yeah, I'm seeing things bounce. Guys, look at this on the screen here. We got Google clearly did a reversal, but where would you get in on this? There's nowhere I would enter this. I don't see a setup, an opportunity to get in, manage risk, all that stuff. I don't see it here. So
yeah, yep.
those are the sorts of things to pay attention to. Let's see what else is good.
Uh, and they're losing 50. Oh, I didn't hear that, Wesley. They're losing. Amazon's losing 50% of their Amazon contracts. Where is it going to? Um, that's uh, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That
That's
would
that's
definitely do it. Yeah, because Amazon is just such an animal, such a beast when it comes to shipping. Um,
mm,
so
it's a few $1 billion right there, huh?
man, that's a lot. It's a lot of boxes. That's a lot of boxes. I'll tell you that much. So yeah.
Cool.
Is
What
it
do we
going
got
to
in the chat?
FedEx or let's look at FedEx? Is FedEx going up today? What's FedEx ticker?
FTX, I think. Yeah,
FTX. I think that sounds right. No, it's
yeah.
not going to FedEx.
Not going
Maybe
anywhere.
they're gonna deliver in the Rivian trucks. Is the Rivian truck going up? Where's the business going, guys? We want to know so we can join the party. Let's go to Rivian. Rivian is up 1.6, so maybe it's gonna go to the Rivian little electric trucks. So
Oh
uh,
man. Little electric truck.
50% is too much, man. We gotta know where this business is going. We gotta tap into Amazon's operations here.
Oh man. No, I'm trying to catch up on the chat here. What are we
Yep.
saying? Uh, Mia, you see me smiling? Yeah, why not smile? We're here day trading. Why not? What else? Swing trading. Yeah, we talked about that. Dean, yeah, Apple went through the level, no trade. So we were talking about Apple a little bit ago. So I was thinking it broke out and it could possibly retest the level and continue bearish, but it's not doing that. So no trade. Key Chong, do I ever get stressed during trading? Of course I do. What do you think? I'm a robot? But again, I think after doing this and for some time, for a few years already, and going through the ups and downs of it, the losers and the winners, and I think you learn that the way it works is you don't get too excited when you have a winner and you don't get too upset when you have a loser. It's just all part of the game. Everything is reversion to the mean. Everything is statistics, basically, probabilities and all that. So no big deal if you lose, you didn't blow up, and no big deal if you win. That's also part of the game. So I think I've kind of reconciled that in my mind, and so I trade with that mindset for now. And since I finally really absorbed that mindset, for me, trading has been a lot more pleasurable, a lot more fun and profitable at the same time. So yeah, it's just understanding the nature of the beast, really. and then you'll be all right.
Yep. Just looking
What do
at
we have?
I'm here reading the comments from President Trump on this speech and this press conference, and man, the man has no chill. He's like, he is so about his term here. Like, this just happened. We don't have to talk about who you're gonna fire, who you're gonna hire. Leave that for another day. Let's just kind of keep it simple. But he is a man on a mission, man. He is, any chance he gets the mic, he's gonna talk about what changes he's gonna make to the FAA now, how he's gonna not allow people that are not qualified to join certain jobs. And I agree with that. If you're not qualified, you shouldn't be in a job. That's okay. I think everybody would agree with that. But is it the time to do it? That's questionable. I mean, it's just happened. Like, let people, people are hurting because of this. That's not the time. They just want to hear that you're with them, put them in their prayers, and that's it. Cut it short. Answer a couple of questions you don't have the answers to, because the FAA and NTSB take months to figure out exactly what happened. They go through so much details. We're not going to know what takes place until, 6 months from now, what really, really happened. Black box stuff, this takes a while. But, man, he is jumping right into everything. So, if you had a family member passed away, and this is not what you want to hear right now. You want to hear it later, but just not right now. So
Yeah, yeah. Wow, yeah, you're right. He's got to chill a little sometimes, eh?
yes,
And,
he's,
yeah. Oh,
I
wow.
get it. I get he has his agenda, but there's got to be some sort of. We could wait until Friday, or Saturday or something.
hmm Well, the truth about the FAA and all that is that so far it's a pretty well-functioning system. It might be very inefficient and all that, but air travel is still very, very safe and has been. And compared that, globally, the FAA in the US is very safe. I mean, I flew airplanes for years in the FAA, not a problem at all. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you don't want to go and change something that isn't truly broken. If there was one glitch somewhere, maybe you gotta change one procedure, perhaps, communication lines, or visual traffic confirmation, stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, let's see what happens. It's a lot there, a lot going on.
Jim, you're definitely an aviation guy because you're throwing out names that I follow too. And Blanco Olirio, he is amazing. He breaks down things on his YouTube channel about airplanes and all the crashes that happen. There's a lot of general aviation crashes. Like, we only hear about the big ones, but it's sad, man. These general aviation crashes with people that are like private pilots, you don't hear, those never make the news. But that
hmm
happens, man, a lot. And it's usually all pilot mistake, right? The pilot forgot to do the icing. The pilot forgot to do this. They didn't put extra fuel, too windy. It's usually always the pilot's mistake on this general aviation stuff. But that never makes the major news. But yeah, it's,
Yeah,
it's a shame.
yeah,
Um,
damn shame about that. I believe it. That was my first career. I flew GA for so long, general aviation, about 5 years. Never crashed an airplane. I'm still here, still alive. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, not not always smooth. Yeah, there's a lot of holes in that system for sure.
They're definitely overworked, man. I remember my brother got his private license. We fly down the Hudson all the time, and if you're not looking out for these helicopters that are doing they're doing the sightseeing. They go around the Hudson, take you all over Manhattan.
Mm.
It's not fun. Like, we did it a couple of times, and we don't go through there no more because it's not fun. It's so hectic. We're like this the whole time. We're not really enjoying the buildings, right? We're just looking,
Yeah.
making sure you're not hitting anything that's appearing, because helicopters come from under you, so you got to be so careful. But but yeah, it's safe, but man, it sucks when this happens. So they got to figure out what they could do here.
Yeah, there you go. Oh well,
Oh, this is
so
news
it
here.
is.
Uber Lyft face antitrust probe over NYC driver pay agreement. Let's go to Uber. Uh, what's going on with Uber today?
Okay. Look at that. It's on the move at the moment. A big candlestick on a 1 minute chart.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff that would make the markets move. There you go. Fun, fun, fun. And what was it, Lyft involved in that?
Yeah, Lyft as
Yeah,
well.
same thing.
I don't know how these guys make money, to be honest. The drivers, I don't know how they do it. Um, a trip from my area to the airport in Newark used to be about $80, maybe $70 like 6-7 years ago. Now I get a trip there sometimes for $30, and the
Wow.
toll is $7 on your turnpike. So after Uber takes their cut, how much are you giving to this driver? You know, so
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know how they're
Well,
making money, man. It's it's wild.
shit, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Looking at the chat here, we got Division V. If I started over, would I trade options or funded account? I'd definitely go with the funded account up front. Those first few months, even the first couple of years, if I could do it, I would. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have blown up a few accounts like I really did. So, um, yeah, it's an opportunity. It's a great opportunity. That funded account, my goodness, just don't blow up. You learn without blowing up. How about that? No, you give yourself a much better chance of surviving the learning curve. That's what it's about. And options, I
Yeah.
mean, seriously, I didn't start really even thinking about options until 3.5 years in or something. And only build it out gradually. Now it's all I do, but it's a gradual thing. Please don't touch options until you understand price action, until you find consistency in your own trading and all that stuff. Because options, again, is leverage. You're just leveraging up what you're already doing. If what you're already doing isn't quite working, then you don't want to leverage that up because it'll just blow up in your face. So, think about that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I know it gets exciting to look at options. Your little money, you multiply it, but it's the realities are, is that it can bite you. So
Yeah. Yeah.
have your head on your shoulders for sure. Trying to look around here for an opportunity. I'm seeing things move. I'm not seeing a way to enter anything at the moment. Still not a lot going on. Nvidia is very interesting again. So it got to the level, broke out of it, went back, retest, and it printed a bearish candle, 5-minute candle. Then the new low would be my entry, but I'm not going to take this one. By the time it's doing it all, it's already halfway in the middle of the range, and it's not even clean. It's messy. So as much as this is the retest of the breakout trade that I like to take, it's not an ideal one. So not worth risking the money. I'd rather conserve the buying power and put into something really good that pops up. And again, I still say it's early in the day, guys. There's still time. Plenty. We got a question here about Amazon GProf. Amazon, let's have a look. Yeah, same idea, similar idea. Struggling to trust anything at the moment, though. So
Yeah.
breakout,
Amazon.
retest, and let's see. I'm not seeing genuine bearish sentiment in this, as in it's not really pushing down. You'd have to put a wide stop. And again, this is hard to say that this is a breakout because what is it breaking out from? Did it consolidate above this 233 area for a bit? It did not. It just got to it and then it went through it. And so it would be a continuation trade. So let it do a nice reverse ABCD pattern or something like that. Let it truly consolidate for a little bit. And then that's healthy. That sets it up for the next move. So that consolidation is a good thing to look for. I don't call this a breakout, actually. This is just a continuation opportunity. I don't think it's an opportunity yet. But keep an eye on it. Let's see what happens. Let's get set up in the next 30 minutes. What else? Yeah, Meta. Goddamn Meta. It just goes and goes and goes and goes.
Is it
Up and down. Up and down.
Oh wow, this thing is, yeah, it bounced pretty good, man. Look at that. Right to the previous day close, 676.70, and now we're up, heading towards the VWAP here. This stock, man, this stock is awesome. So
I feel like I've
fun,
been
so
watching
fun.
this for I feel like I've been watching this for 2 weeks every day, still waiting for an opportunity
Yeah.
to participate. It's just one of those things. It just won't. Maybe my trade book's too strict, but I'm not gonna change it just for one.
No, don't change. Don't break what's. Don't fix what's not broken, man. Leave it alone.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. Um, we got a question here. Do I do mentorship on equities or options only? No, it's actually my mentorship. Most of my mentees don't even trade options. I discourage it most of the time. So it's yeah on equities as well. So it's not purely an options thing. And Sumit, you want to know about Baba? Baba is more Carlos's baby.
It's my baby,
There
Baba.
you go.
Yeah, it's been trading well. I actually have not traded it recently.
I haven't looked at it today either. Oh my goodness, what?
Yes. On the
What
run.
happened today? How did we not talk about Baba today? Uh,
Why does it move?
wow, look at that. All right, I gotta check if there's any news on this. First time I'm looking at it, guys. I actually did not take a look at Baba today for some odd reason. Well, it did nothing in the pre-market, right? It was pretty flat, but this is trading really, really good. Um,
Mhm.
I definitely have some FOMO here. Uh, so I'm gonna check what is going on with Bauer today. All right, 11:37. Well, that was just released. That's not gonna make a move now. 2 days ago, we released 2.5 max, and today we are updated the price of its API inputs token to 1.6 million tokens, output tokens 6.4 million tokens. All right, so this is not that's not new. I don't know what's driving it today. That is awesome. That is awesome.
There you go. We got some
That was your intent to create FOMO for me. Task accomplished. I definitely did.
Great job. Yeah, just present Baba to Carlos and off you go. It's a
Yeah,
trigger.
yeah. Oh man.
Nice.
You could see here, look at the daily, by the way, right? The last couple of days, we went from not doing anything, and we really have not been watching it, to just recently, the dailies are getting much wider. You're getting more volume, more volatility. I'm going to start putting this on my list more often than not. So it'll be on my list tomorrow, because when it starts trading like that, it can go for a couple of days. See that here? Go for a couple of days trading really, really well. Then it goes back to its regular, very small daily candles, but it goes through these stretches. We had it here again as well back in May, where it goes through stretches where it does really good. So we could be in one of these stretches now, and it's just starting, based on how many days we're in here. And yeah, this is a big, big move. 102.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
There it is. Amazing. That's huge. Yeah, just out of nowhere. Just
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
expect it. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Oscar, you want to know about Microsoft? So let's take a look at Microsoft. So yeah, it partially did the setup I like, but I didn't take it because it's not a great setup. So far, it's on the move. It's doing the reversal. But did you enter? Where would you enter? Where would you put your exit, your stop? How do you manage risk on this? For me, I can't answer any of those questions on this price action, so I haven't touched it. But looking at it now, it looks like it's got some strength in it, got some buyers, and if it truly goes, the next level I have is about this 418 area. So yeah, that's what I think on Microsoft.
I like that
Moving on to
daily,
the
man. Big picture of Microsoft. I think somebody mentioned Microsoft possible swing. It depends on your risk appetite and your how long that swing can be. It's at an interesting area. Can't tell you what to do, but it's at an interesting area right now. If you look at the daily going back all the way to August, there's a lot of support happening in this area here, and it's a stock
Mm,
that I never mind putting money back on these stocks that are like big, like Microsoft, Nvidia, long term stuff, because they're gonna come back up. But their entire history is northeast, right? So Microsoft is not going nowhere anytime soon. So for long term investing, this is a sale right now. This is Black Friday for them. They're buying for sure, right? They're getting a $30
yeah,
discount from the highs. So that's awesome.
very cool. Very cool. Yeah. That philosophy works quite nicely.
Yeah,
It's not going anywhere, just wait for a discount.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. That's it.
We got a question here about Nvidia as well. And yeah, Nvidia, look at that, has strength. I was telling you guys about 10 minutes ago, I wouldn't go short here. Just didn't look clean as much as the setup is technically there, but the candlesticks are not behaving nicely. And now, sure enough, it's got the long in it. And I'm trying to see again a setup for the long. I don't see much. Maybe you can see a double bottom, but you really gotta, that's a bit of a stretch to call this a seriously good double bottom. So again, I won't touch it. But there it is. It's behaving differently. Something's happening. Let's see what else we got. Again, my eyes just keep going back to Meta. God damn. Shit. Look at this thing. Comes down through the level. Ideally, it rejects the 690 area, does some good price action. This is already good price action. We'll look for a continuation trade to the downside. And it's really interesting. Look at this guy. So the levels I use are these, as you know, 8 a.m. candles, measured moves off of them. But if you look at the top of the 8 a.m. candle, that's basically, if we can Meta did a breakout, then a retest of it right at the open. That's where it bit, just launched up. Sure enough, comes back down and goes back up to where does it resist now? Well, pretty much that 8 a.m. candle, which also happens to be the bottom of the 5-minute range, the opening 5-minute range, if you look at it that way. I mean, there's so many ways you can see it. It's just aligned at 690. It's a key level today. It's just doing a whole lot of stuff at 690. And again, levels, the best levels are the ones that flip their orientation. So you can see here, the 690, it was resistance. It got the breakout. It turned into support. Then it went right through that support. Didn't even really retest it. And now it's coming back to retest it. What was support? Ideally, it's turning it into resistance. These are levels you can lean on when they truly keep flipping their orientation. Those are the more powerful ones. And so today, 690, yeah, firmly in play. So let's see now. We might find an opportunity. But again, it's still a lot of wait and see.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. What else we got here? Yeah, Meta's just pretty clean. Google's not too different. There it is. Clean moves for the most part. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
What do we got here? Got Melanie, you got a Baba chip on your shoulder. You toss that out. Fair enough, fair enough. I can't tell you. Yeah, just like that. I got the Meta thing going on my shoulder for the last 2 weeks. It's driving me nuts. I can't sleep, nothing. There you go.
Zach is asking, do I use level 2? Yes, I do. I do use level 2 data. I don't use what's the software called with the bubbles?
Bookmap.
Bookmap. I don't use Bookmap. I know a lot of people like it, but I use the level 2. That's on DAS. But with the level 2, I also use a time in sales, and I actually use a time in sales a little bit more at depending where the stock is, because it kind of gives you the flow of how the price action is moving, how the stock is flowing. And then the level 2, I use it in specific areas. Like I use it a lot when we're breaking out of levels, right? Because you start seeing the price kind of like hesitate a little bit. There's still a lot of volume going through it, but it starts hesitating, and then you could really start seeing the level 2 showing some big bids or ask. And then that kind of tells you, okay, we're getting ready for that explosive move, right? So, and usually by then, for the 5-minute RB, I'm already in the trade. I'm looking at that to see, okay, are we looking to break out or are we looking to reverse, right? Because for the most part, I'm not trading breakout levels. The 5-minute RB could be heading towards a major level where you start seeing that battle happening. But that's where I use it more when I see that breakdown of levels. You can see the level 2 kind of get really, really exciting as far as the bid and the ask. And just I take a peek at it, make sure that I'm not seeing something that's going against my position if I'm already in it. If I see, okay, we're not getting the numbers in my direction, they're looking the opposite way, and other stuff starts looking a little weird, then it might be time to either take a partial or just, get out of the trade. So that's how I use it more. I know there's people that use it a lot more in depth, and like Paris is level 2 in time and sales. It's insane. And he's really good at it, right? So I don't use it in that type of depth.
Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic tool. It can read the depth of the market and then the real-time transactions. We have some great indicators there.
Yeah.
So, yep, I've used them for many, many years as well. Good stuff.
Oh, Melanie, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm just reading Melanie's comments. She had a Baba at 82, and then it got you out. Ooh, that sucks. That burns. All right.
Well, yeah. If you want to hear something similar, let's say, at some point last year, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember. I sold naked puts on Nvidia at the time. It was before the split. It was like a $400 stock. And I got assigned. And so when I got assigned, I was like, oh crap. And I got forced into buying $1.4 million worth of Nvidia. So I'm in this position. I'm like, oh crap, what do I do? Instantly I'm down like $100,000 just on the P&L. Like, now what? This, the danger of options. And started to go back towards my break even, and I closed it out for, I don't know, $40,000 loss or something stupid like that. And it went like triple from there. It hit like 2,000 or whatever. And I was like, what the hell? That would have been like $4 million if I just
of course
took a vacation. Just like, what the hell? but
The
that's
market
incredibly
has
dangerous.
a weird sense of humor, man. It really
Yeah,
does. Like,
very just
like
so strange.
really. Uh, I, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
man. I've been in
yeah,
situations like that where it's like, okay, here we are, man. I'm at the brink of, I gotta get out this trade. The loss is, it's breaking me. It's too much. Go full buying power. Obviously when I was doing stupid trades, I'm like, I gotta get out of this thing, man. And it's like I feel like the minute I hit the button, everybody
yeah.
says, okay, we're gonna go back the other way. I'm just like, man, that doesn't make sense to me, man. It's like,
It's
like the minute I
wild.
get out, it starts going in my direction. I'm just like, come on. It's like they're waiting for me, like, oh, let's get Carlos out. Yeah, Carlos is there. Let's get him. Let's get him. Oh, he's out. Okay, guys, let's go the other way.
Yeah, there
Frustrating,
you
man.
go.
Frustrating. Ah,
And yeah, the market has that sense of humor, very sarcastic. It wants to get you, it'll get you. It'll play with you, it'll tease you, it'll tempt you. Eventually, you can't resist, and then it'll get you, and then it'll go. And yes, not much you can do about that except manage your risk and don't be silly. Again, guys, for me, that was not a day trade. That was a an overnight option. It's not even overnight. It was like more like a swing options thing for a week or so. So that's not day trading. That was something else. But there you go. Like Melanie was saying, you got Bob at 82. Yeah, we've all had those kinds of moments where you look back and you're like, what the hell? Should just put it on and go take a vacation, You'll be better off. So what do we got here? Questions. Shariar, yes, I do trade current week's options. And on Friday it's 0 DTE. So if I'm trading the open, I will trade 0 DTE, but as we get later into the day, I'll use the next week's options. Keep it simple.
yeah, I remember when I started trying options last year, and I never been assigned. I didn't even know what it was. But thankfully, I'm smart enough that I was like, with options, I'm only taking like one contract at a time, not messing around. I don't know all the details, I don't know all the ins and outs. And I knew that my knowledge was very limited. I wake up one morning, I still get this email like from 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, this thing has been assigned. I'm like, what the heck is this? Why am I down $20,000 on this thing? And this one is like, it's green. It looks weird at first until it actually settles. Like it'll show you like you're down $20,000, but the contract you're only risking like $200. But depending how much you bought, I'm like,
Yeah.
why is my P&L negative $20,000? Like this is a problem. But then because they got a sign, so then you still have this position open, and this position will be up like, let's say 21,000. So you still have either 1,000 down or lost. It's very weird, very complicated the way they do it. But yeah, I could see that getting a sign if you're far out of the money, that could suck. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's an interesting world, you guys. Everyone gets tempted. Yeah, free money, sell contracts. No, it's not really free.
No, it's a lot to it. You gotta know what you're doing. But you know what? The
Yeah,
biggest thing is if you keep your risks small. Like I knew I don't know what I was doing that way, so I kept the risk very small.
yeah, smart.
Jim,
Smart move.
yes, man, you bring up that's a very dark
Yeah.
story. I'm glad you brought it up. It's remember the guy from Robinhood that committed suicide? It was
Yep, I
some. It
remember
was
that.
something like this, man. Right? Like the money had not settled, so he was showing down like millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, like a big number. And when he saw that, he committed suicide. Not realizing that things were not settled yet, and he was not really down that much. He was down a reasonable amount. So, you know, gotta know what you're doing, man. So yeah, I remember that story. It's a couple of years back. Sucks. He was only down like
Mm.
$90, right? I mean, can you imagine that? Wow.
Wow, yeah, he thought he blew up his family's wealth and all that, and he
Yes.
was,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
something
crazy,
crazy
man.
here. Question here, JJMA. Have I looked at leveraged ETFs for all these tickers? I haven't looked at them. I'm quite satisfied with the options world, and so, I'm not really bothered with that. I get all the excitement I want out of this. So, again, don't fix what isn't broken, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Claire, I agree. We're not saying that even if let's say if even he was down $1 million, 2 million, it's not worth
Mm.
losing your life over any amount. Who cares, right? Um, but I could see the stress, at the moment, right? I mean, it's
Mhm.
yeah, but probably was too much.
Check it out.
So
Yeah. I'm seeing some interesting activity here, guys. You can see Microsoft doing that reversal. Apple finding strength. Interesting way to look at it. At the level again, you can see an ABCD. Maybe that would have been an entry. I would have taken that a few years ago. Nvidia also going up, but like we were discussing earlier, right? It'd be hard pressed to see a double bottom or a reversal setup. But if you see it, oh, there it is. It's on the way. I don't see an entry on any of these. I didn't see an entry on these earlier and still don't. Yeah, AMD as well. Same old thing. You can see the lows getting higher in this consolidation. That's a good indicator of this ABCD really going to work out fairly soon. I feel like ABCD patterns.
Oh yeah, AMD actually. That's a nice nice looking setup here as far as
Yeah.
ABC. Let's see if it breaks through here.
Yeah,
Looks
there it
nice.
goes. Very interesting. Meta, on the other hand, has just decided to chill out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends, any questions before we wrap it up here? Any other questions? We'd love to get some answers. It's been great hanging out with you guys today. We're going to be back. Let me remind you before we get out of here. We're going to be back later at 3:30 for the Apple earning this evening. So join us for that this afternoon. It's going to be myself, Jared, Peter will be on, and Brian as well. So, and Andrew might show up as well. He might stop by and say hello. So if he doesn't, he might not come on, but he'll be in chat trading because he did that yesterday. He wasn't on the stream, but he was in chat like, I'm long, I'm short. I'm like, okay, he's doing his thing. So he'll join us in chat for sure. Yeah, we got who else? We got Visa, and I think, is it Intel today? Or Intel was already
Oh.
there. Forget, no, it's Visa, and I forget the other one. But Visa is also happening today. Actually, you know what?
Oh, no, I don't. Yeah. Take
We
a look at
don't
Trading
need
Terminal,
to-
perhaps.
Yeah, we don't need to speculate, right? Just get the information.
Mhm.
See what we got here. Today, okay, yeah, so Intel and Visa today after the close. So we had UPS this morning, MasterCard this morning. So yeah, after the close, we'll see those there. So, but again, Apple's the big ticket, obviously. That's the one we all want to see how that's
Yeah.
going to look today. So,
Apple's interesting. A quick question here, Division V, about buying power with shares and equities. I'm sorry, with equities versus options. So with the way I do it is the buying power that I need, that I'm using for my options trading, if I'm going to trade the same size on just shares and equities, it would be, I'd have to have like 5 times more buying power, basically. So this is much more capital efficient. I'm basically using an account that's 20% of the size that I would otherwise need if I'm trading shares. So that's the capital efficiency side of things with options that I'm using. Hope that makes sense. Cool.
all right. And also, we're wrapping up here. Trump did wrap up his speech. Now, Trump did mention that the helicopter pilot might have been at fault, which is kind of what everybody thinks, but he did mention that in the press conference. I'm sure he probably knows that was the case because they know what happened, right? But they just want to check every single thing before they actually put an official statement. But that's what it sounds like. It sounds like the helicopter came in behind the aircraft and crashed it. But Trump's just said it here, and then there'll be more details coming out. So, man, that's a shame. That's a shame. All right. We're all good to go here. Avi, any plans for today? Do you have anything else going on after this?
Yeah, I'm popping into the BBT room now. Paras isn't there, so I'll be taking over that for an hour. So come on, guys, join BBT, have some fun, live trading and all that. Other than that, I'm gonna find a way to trade meta. I swear to God, I'm gonna find a way to trade meta. Don't know what.
Well, when you're gonna get in, text me. Let me know which way you're getting in. I'll join you. We'll do it together.
Awesome.
Guys, here's Avi's link. If you want to know more information about Avi, his social media, his mentoring, all that stuff, I just put it on there as well. So take a look at that. You can get more information on all the stuff that Avi offers to his mentees. So, friends, over on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you guys hanging out today. Again, we'll be back at 3:30 for Apple. earnings and more, hit that thumbs up, and you guys have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll see you guys a little bit later.
Awesome. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you all soon again. Take it easy.
Thank you, guys.